Hello world. Ignore the side noises on the side there. That's just me testing out the audios. We're having wonderful tech stuff as per usual. The joys of meeting online in different locations. Lots of different internets to juggle around, but we're here. We're open. What up, everyone? Hope your week was great. Our week was fantastic. At least mine was. Don't let me speak for everyone else. Oh, well, mostly confirmation. We'll go with that group check as a success.
Cool 14.
Cool 14. Yeah, let's go with that. But this week is going to be another week. It's going to be great. As per usual, little announcements at the beginning of everything. Ambience and music produced and made by Michael Ghelfi. Wonderful. I really hope I'm not pronouncing his last name correctly. Really hope I am. But wonderful ambiances. I use them in all my campaigns for D&D and everything in general. It's quite helpful. Such a great mood. The art there, that's Michael Howe. Go check him out. He did great work on it. I'm going to rap about that for a while, just because they're beautiful and I'm proud of them. They're all very nice. But coming up this week, Wednesday, playing with Mutts, 5 o'clock. That's me and Von sitting there and having some fun in Valheim. Emlar's got a bit of a habit crushing people. Not on purpose. He's crushed himself, and now he's crushed Ulf.
Yep, it was quite hilarious.
Very fun. You can find those in the clips. And this Friday is another episode of Hate, Laugh, Love. Ethan.
Yeah, so this week's episode, we're going to put the hate in Hate, Laugh, Love. If you want to come watch me kind of nerd rage for about 2 hours about something I feel very passionate about, then join us. 5 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
What I think it is.
I'm pretty sure it's what we all think it is. I think we've all heard him rap on this
Oh.
so we won't
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to be there.
But I'm
going to be there.
I'm excited to be in the backgrounds of that, listening and laughing mostly at the torment of the people on the panel. Good luck, whoever's on that panel. Good luck.
Yep.
Get ready to hear him talk for 2 hours and then had to 30 seconds to fit your comments in at the end. Aside from that, we are affiliates now. If you have Amazon Prime and you're not using your affiliate sub, go down and hit that sub button and throw us that Prime sub. It's just once a month and you're paying for it anyway, so may as well help us out a little, you know. Please and thank you. There's also our Twitters and our Facebook. Go on those, check those out. Facebook's mostly on announcements for when our shows are, when everything happens, when the inn is open, and Twitter's for all the wonderful updates. All those things of this is when we're going live and random little ditties in between and all that. That all aside, I think that's everything from me. So I think it's really time to get things started here with a song by Peter Taylor, who's a wonderful prologue. Enjoy that.
It is open, my friends. Battles have yet to begin. Laughter will be heard in gales and floods, but if not, at least there will be blood. The sorrow and loss may abound. We'll do our best to hold this hallowed ground.
And welcome back. Last we left off the wonderful group of individuals. They were trudging through the lands, heading through the forests of Andor, getting to a town called YhaAark.
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 I have to pause to let them do that. Okay, moving on. The town before you all is a very tall, walled locations, maybe 40 feet, 50 feet tall. It's definitely built to be sieged. It's built for warfare. Each bastion in between, in about, say, like 50-foot locations, there's a small tower that goes up that has a ballista fixed to the top of it. The walls are well patrolled from what you can see as you're walking up to it. There's plenty of people trafficking through the city in general. Multiple different kinds of races. A lot of people, even though your group sticks out, the closer you get to the town, the more you get into the crowd of individuals, you blend in a little bit more. You won't blend in near as much because you've got this giant Loxodon behind you all who's very cleanly standing out of the crowd. You do get some eyes, but most people are mostly focused on their day-to-day. It is a busy, bustling city. Prologue.
Have we entered the city?
Not yet. You are getting
Oh,
into
okay.
the city. So
Okay, cool.
The walls and most of the fixtures of what you see, they're made of primarily, like, the base is stone. They've got stone foundations and stone works inside them, but what you mostly see is wood. It's well treated, darkened. It doesn't look like your typical kind of wood. It's much thicker and denser than other kinds. There are buildings and houses on the outskirts that are built when the city itself on the inside was already built up as much. They ended up building outside from the looks of it. But as you approach, it looks guarded. There are guards by the gates. The gates are open. They're very wide, allowing for multiple lanes of traffic for going in and out. And it being a little ways into the morning, say around 10ish or so, it's definitely in full blow. The people are moving around and life is going about its business. From here, I hand it over to you.
I think we're going to need to be careful when we go in here, but I think we should just go as if we belong here. See if they stop us.
Okay, I put on the cloak that I have been neglecting to put on.
Okay, you've got your cloak on.
Does anyone have the cloak Anubisai has? I've been meaning to ask this for a little bit now, but anyone have the cloak that Anubisai was supposed to have? Or wear that he never does? She never does?
And will
Isn't-
not now.
No one's got it? No? You don't got it? No? No one's got it?
Not anymore.
Oh, okay. Alright, well I guess I'm just gonna have behind prologue, I guess.
Brolog approaches Percy and says, "Quiet. Do not get hidden in this city.
You're chopping in and out. You're going to have to repeat that.
I don't think I'll fit in this city."
I don't think most of us are going to.
But I had a question.
Mm-hmm.
It's come to my attention that in my current state, some foes are beyond. I thought, as a person of magic, you could assist me in finding out how to turn my tattoos magical.
Ooh. I like how you think. I don't know myself, but I will gladly help you find out.
Many thanks, many thanks.
I think with that, we're going to proceed in and act like we belong here, knowing full well that we're going to be stopped.
Yeah,
Okay.
probably.
I'll say, first off, Peter, if you can you turn the volume of us down a little bit on your headset? Just a smidge.
Try.
And as for the group trying to get through, I mean, you're suspecting that you're going to get stopped. Do a group stealth check. So everyone roll stealth, but everyone do it at disadvantage because you do stick out like a sore thumb. But see if you make it through the crowds.
At disadvantage, so 5.
15 for Brolog.
I rolled a 20 the first time, and then
Nice.
I rolled a 1 the next time.
Ooh.
So I'm at an
2
8.
once. Oh no.
I rolled a 20 the first time and then a 17 the second time.
Yeah, we'll take his.
Okay. So instead of giving me multiple numbers, let's do the end result one at a time. Brolog.
15.
15. Anubisai?
7.
7. Zarai?
8.
8. 5. And
19.
19. So, okay. You start getting to the gates. You're inside some crowd areas. People are brushing around you gently. Get to the gates, get to the entrance, the opening itself. And then you hear a voice. Hey, hang on. Yes, that just, stop, big thing walking. And eventually the crowd starts getting a little disturbed. You continue walking through and this halfling comes out behind your group and is like, oi, all of you, individuals entering. How do I stop you all? And he runs up and starts, who's in the back of the group?
Oh, we're gonna be, yeah.
Zarai, you get tapped in the back of your leg. And someone's saying, you all.
Oh, hey there, little guy.
It's a halfling standing behind you. Stands roughly at that typical average halfling height. Looks up, he's wearing this guard-type uniform. He's clearly part of a military type of organization. He's got insignias inside his cuff areas and says, you, judging from the wings and the other individuals and descriptions, is one of you
Oh,
all
no.
Paraspatis?
Ooh, we're
Who's
getting so
asking?
known.
He's talking to me, boys. Who's asking?
That would be me, William, captain of the guard.
Your Andrew, where are you at in this?
I'm kind of like off to the side a little bit.
Alright, I'm gonna kind of point over to you, and I'm gonna walk over to you, and I'm gonna be like, "Hey, this is Paraspatis," and then kind of
Give me a
Okay,
deception
I'm gonna
check.
look.
New record.
Do it at disadvantage because I'm not helping you. I'm
No,
looking
no,
at you
just
like,
straight deception check.
14.
I almost want to make it disadvantage because
So he's standing behind. If you have your hood up as well, he won't see your facial features. But he's standing behind. He's like, right, yeah. So that's Paraspatis. Walks around, looks and says, "Who's supposed to have white hair and white eyes, and this individual has neither of which. So which one's Paraspatis?"
I'm gonna step forward at this point and be like, that would be me. I'm sorry, who are you?
Good to meet you. He holds up his hand. He's like, my name's William Keenbottle, the captain of the guard here. So we've been expecting you for a few days.
Yeah, we've been a little bit on our journey this direction.
Well, that's all right. You made it here anyway. Look, the lady would like to talk to you. A few things to cover. Apparently there's been some fun getting this way.
No kidding. Of course, lead the way. We'll be following right behind you.
Did you say lady?
I did say
Zarai?
lady. But if you just follow
No.
me and try not to get into any trouble on the way there. He
I'm gonna
stops.
as we pass. I'm gonna look Brolog in the eye, and I'm gonna say, "No trouble. Keep an eye on Zarai."
I'm gonna look at Brolog and say, "How far do you think I can kick him?"
Brolog takes this question very seriously. 15 feet.
15 feet.
He is quite small. You are not. That's 15 feet.
We might have to try that if this gets boring.
The halfling begins walking through the town, getting kind of walking in between groups and between individuals. And as he does, he looks back and is like, "So, I only know so much. She only tells me so much, but where are you all from?"
Quayla, far
That's
across the
fancy.
ocean. Mm-hmm.
That's nice. And he decided to come here. That's great. He picked a hell of a time.
Apparently. Timing was never really something we planned, though, so.
You can correctly plan the time when you're traveling to a place that you've never seen before. Imagine the journey was hard.
Not nearly as hard as the last few days have been.
Well, that's the joys of finding new places. They're difficult and exciting, and I really can't finish that sentence without being serious. I've always been a homebody myself. I'm just trying to get you ready for it, the lady's gonna say.
Indeed. So, who are we meeting?
Well, I'll let her introduce herself. She doesn't much like it when I introduce her before other people, especially importance and, well, I say importance, but people of such renown. I'll put it that way.
That's lightly, too.
I suppose it is. While you're walking through, he points out a few places, and that's where you can get all your salves. That's if you're inside the town long enough. Keeps walking through, and there's the Boar's Head Inn. They've got some very interesting brews out here. They experiment a bit more of a herbal type taste to them. They're not bad, but not my
Brolog
fancies.
turns
Uh-oh.
and starts walking beside Demon Eye.
And then they decided to walk on the other side.
Okay, this isn't happening right now, boys. I'm just gonna keep playing. So just because I can't not do anything, I'm gonna play speed games with them the whole fucking walk back, where I'm gonna pick up my pace a little bit and then slow down and pick it up and slow down, just the whole time. Just neither of them probably really care, but it's kind of annoying. Like just like making them work for keeping next to me, assholes.
Brolog
Making him
knows
work
how
for
to
it.
work.
Eventually, you get to another gated area that looks to have a moat that's been dug around it and filled with. It's not water, it's black and viscous kind of liquid. It's not bubbling in any way or moving. It looks like a solid surface, but you can tell that it is indeed a liquid from the edges of the surface itself.
Anything from my knowledge of siege warfare?
It looks like a kind of oil. Very strange kind of oil. Not quite, but you can tell enough that it's got enough of an oily property and substance to it. The gates, upon seeing William walk forward, they open up the doors and he begins guiding you through this lavish type looking courtyard. It's got hedges that are trimmed and well cut and shaped into different types of creatures and animals. One that's shaped to look like a man in a suit of armor. And then another one that's looked to be shaped of another being in another suit of armor of some kind. When you take another look at another angle, it looks like their version of a scaled one, so Dragonborn. He continues walking, he takes you to the mansion within, through this lavish foyer in the front, up these stairs, and into a large meeting room where the doors are opened by servants, and he guides you inside, and at the other end of a table, standing on top of the table, is a female halfling who's dressed in very fine garbs, very beautiful and of this, I want to say like a pink going into a purple type design. It's very, very expensive looking. She's currently laughing and talking with an elf who is robed in a long white robe. He has long blonde hair and has a very keen and polite look about him as he laughs with her as well. When everyone enters in, they continue smiling, and the halfling looks over and goes, "Ah, it's about time. Larison, give us 10 minutes, yeah?" "Very well, I'll give you 10 minutes. But you best be keeping your knowledge that I'll be coming in 10 minutes, so keep it short." Shove it up your butt. "Right. Thank you, alien. You can come over here. Take a seat.
Praspidus proceeds forth and does so.
Same.
Brolog walks forward, does not sit down.
I'll try to get as close to the lady as I can and sit down.
Praspidus is, of course, going to give Zara a very stern look.
I'm not gonna do anything. I say with my eyes because I can't do it actually.
She, continuing to stand on the table, looks at Prologue. "Ooh, fair and strong standing type. That's alright. I like to stand too." She walks to the end of the table where there's a series of papers all around. It's like, "You have to pardon me. I was expecting you all a few days ago. Well, first off, I got a little ready when I heard that you might be coming through, heading towards Nutra. And big town, if you skipped us, well, that's fine. But, all the same, you're here now. My prediction was correct. Very happy about that. Let's start with a little, getting to know each other for a moment. I'll tell you what I know of you. First off," she opens up a letter, and "I got word from Brimlin Soth that there is a group of individuals from a different land who are going to be travelling through our town, and they rushed off in a hurry without even saying goodbye." Hurt his feelings, by the way. He really didn't appreciate that. That's fine. According to him, your admiral soothed things over a bit. That, he said to welcome you with open arms. That's all that aside. According to him, he likes you. Cool. I like you too. Let's start with this one. The captain from Vol looks up, looks at you, Zara. And, "Did you get drunk and arrested?"
I fell and he took me to the drunk tank. That was it. That's all that happened. What do you mean deception? That's all I did. I went to walk and he pushed me. I got pushed.
You got carried. You got taken.
To the drunk tank? No, the reason they found me was they gave me a push and I rolled really low and I fell.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
It's
That's
the
fair.
truth.
I'll give it to you. It's a version of the truth, but it works. It definitely works. Well, that's fine. We get a lot of people into the drunk tank, but I'm not gonna try to frame you for any kind of funny business. Apparently, according to him, you're a harpy.
I am not.
Great.
I can prove it to you if you want.
No, that's all right. What are you?
Maybe later then. I'm a winged tiefling.
Winged tiefling. She picks up a quill, dips it, and while standing, using like a forearm as a tabletop, just scratches out a piece of the paper and writes something down. Very good, winged tiefling. That's fixed. Now for the bit more of a troubling one. Now, in the request from Bremlin, like, he sent it to, or Bremlin Soth, he sent it to all of us, saying get ready for any of these guests. They're welcomed and they should be allowed inside the city. I gave a brief description, said some of you might look human. Takes a look at Paraspatus and then Eulandriel looking into the cloak. Of course, I don't really care about that. You could be human, but nah, we're at peace right now. Who cares? The one that came in recently, that's on the reportings of your going abouts and movements inside Recloria, some Captain Hagduin. Said one of your party members decided to threaten the safety of the town.
I'm immediately pointing over to Andrea.
Yeah, I've already got my hand up, and I'm just going to say, bit of a misunderstanding.
Great. Good. It's a misunderstanding. Can you clear it up for me?
Well, I mean, technically I threatened a couple of his men, but not necessarily the safety of the entire town, but dude's kind of an asshole, so...
You're right on that. He definitely is. And he hates humans. For good reason, too. I mean, I understand why he hates humans and why he's got that tendency of saying that they're evil and bad in every way, and that he'd want to imprison you and execute you on the spot, and why he's issued an arrest warrant for you.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, dropping him, 6 stories probably didn't help my cause.
6 stories? Oh.
I'm just over in my corner laughing. I'm just dying. This is hilarious.
She takes the letter and she looks at you and is like, you should have dropped him from higher. Would have rid all of us of a pain in the ass. Now, I'm going to...
I tried my best.
Amen to that.
She rips the paper in half. Is like, I don't much care for him either. Puts the papers together again, rips it again. Like, in fact, I think he's a dick and he probably shouldn't even be a captain in the army. But all the same, he's major political influence. So, that's what I know about you. Let's get to know each other a little bit, and let's figure out if I can help you with this whole situation you've got yourselves into. Because the likelihood is he's going to be hiring some people to try to come after you. And I'd like to see if we can avoid that, because you're from a different place, and the last thing we need is another very powerful nation being angry at us. We've already got those assholes over the neutral zone trying to kill us on a regular basis. We don't need another entire continent trying to do that. My name is Lady Ghelfi Blinkrider.
Can I get that typed out for me somewhere?
Yes.
I tried it. I got 2 letters in.
I will put that in the chat. It's in the notes section.
Thank you.
Lady Ghelfi Blinkrider. I'm the Lord Protector of YhaAark, and I'm also the General of the Cavalry. Oh dear.
YhaAark.
Yeah, all of us say out loud, YhaAark.
YhaAark.
This is precisely why I hate this town. I hate this town. I'm the General of the Cavalry as well, of the place here, but I've been benched. Because apparently my victories aren't good enough. Well, that's enough of me. Who are all of you? And for the first time you see, she steps down from the table and takes a seat behind the seat at the head of the table.
Paraspatus is going to go ahead and stand up at this point and smile. I am Paraspatus. I am a magus from Quela, and we came here on a diplomatic mission. to find other nations to basically make trade routes with. Of course, your nation was the first nation we came across, but as is per the usual, we need to go and meet the other one as well, Laban. On our journey, obviously, we've come across a couple of hiccups, namely Zarai's familiar, his pseudo-dragon, got kidnapped by harpies. And that's the real reason why we are so late.
He's cute.
We had to go back. We had to go back and make sure that Steve was safe. And thankfully he was. We were able to get him back, essentially. It's been a long journey, and I'm kind of going to give up on a certain amount of facade, because I'm not going to lie, I like you right off the bat. I did not like the general from...
Captain.
You and me both.
Don't call
Captain.
him a general. He does not deserve that title at all.
You're right, he doesn't really deserve the captain title either. I did not like the elf from the other place. But you I like. There's one other thing I'm here to do. Over in Quela, as I'm sure your people are familiar with people going missing here, in Quela, a very close friend of mine went missing. And we had heard that they might be over here, which is one more reason why I came personally. And I am on a journey to find them and hopefully rescue them and bring them home.
It's very good to meet you, Paraspatus. What about you, big guy? The one that stands and doesn't sit.
I'm Prologue.
It's good to meet you, Prologue. Anything else to add? Or are you just a mystery stranger? Strong and bulky in all the right places?
He's also got
People
two
here
trunks
are very
on him.
short.
Hey, my people are very short. That's what comes from being a halfling.
Mm,
Well, he's a wordy one. Ah, right.
I am not.
I can tell. She gives you a wink, looking at you with this keen smile, and then looks over towards Anubisai and says, "How about you, armored one? There's no reports on what you might look like underneath all that."
I am Death.
Oh, good God, you're a woman. I would never have told. I mean, although, now that I look at your posture, you'd... Anyway, you are Death. That's interesting. I like that. Hang on, no, you're not Death.
Last time I checked, she was an Ubasai, I say as I take off my cloak.
I suppose I could call you Death. Alright, well, I'll go with that. Good to meet you, Death. It's nice to have you in front of my face instead of being run away from you all my life. It looks like you're a follower of Veshnar. Prologue.
Prologue approach. Have you?
You're chopping up again.
Have you changed your name?
No, I was just telling her my occupation.
Very good and excellent.
Okay, well, while that's going on, I'm gonna reply. Yeah, your Landrill came from the same place as everyone else, but born in Daggerfim.
Daggerfim. What is that? Never heard of it.
Yeah. Worlds away from here.
That's an interesting phrase of term. I'll leave it to the philosophers to take care of that one. Yeah, Larson, he might want to talk to you about that. Worlds away from here. Fascinated by that kind of stuff. Bit weird of an elf. I like him though. He's funny. And then there's you. From what I hear, you're a bit of a troublemaker. Not that saying your Landrio getting arrested in Mardrim wasn't troublemaking.
Yeah, but I mean, then he kind of outdoes me in number of times. You know,
Start sifting through some
I'm one
papers.
and done kind of a guy.
Let's see, it's Vul, yeah, says he reported that his guards fired upon you the first time they saw you. And Mardrim as well. First time they saw you, fired upon you. Congratulations, you finally found a city that didn't fire upon you the first time we've seen you.
Yeah.
I'm actually quite proud.
I like to
You're
fly, and I'm
slowly
not used to
crawling
not
down.
being able to fly. I'm getting used to it. It's not intentional most of the time.
What part of your Quaila place are you from? You a city person or?
I normally stay in the forest.
That explains it. You're used to your freedom.
I am.
I understand that. I'm used to my freedom too, but I find myself caged in these walls.
Don't cage me.
Alas, that is part of life. Eventually we all find ourselves caged.
Not if I.
Well, there it is. I know you all. You know me. There is an arrest warrant out for your Londriel. I'm not going to take it. I'm not going to have any of my men throw you in chains. I think that's ridiculous. I think it's just Captain Hagduin throwing his political power around for his tendencies of hating your kind. I don't care.
As a note, Precipice, still standing, leans on his chair and looks over at her. On that note concerning him sending people after us, honestly, I give Brolog, Anubisai both good looks. I'm not so worried about whatever he sends, just as long as he's not sending anyone you would be worried about losing.
It's rather my business to be concerned about not losing any troops that we would have, or possibly could use in the upcoming war. So yes, I would much prefer that we settle these things so that we don't have to send anyone after you. Plus, if you kill anyone, then that's just bad word and bad blood for your country against ours. And we'd much rather, again, like I said, not have two different countries barking down our back as we try to fight off a war against Lebon. So, if you'll permit me, I do have a plan. Something that might be able to help us clear your name a bit and put your group in a bit more of a better standing with the Reclorian leaders. Again, Brimlin Soth, he loves you. He's doing everything he can to sort this all down, but it's the other leaders that are a bit sketchy and wary about your presence. From what I understand, your admiral, she's been kept on the boat, not allowed to go about the city, because there's just that much mistrust about your group these days. But if you go through with my plan, you'll have helped us out, and you'll have hopefully cleared a bit of a word.
Who do you need killed?
Glad you asked. There's a particular mine that's discovered something recently. We're always finding ruins of old cities that were built from before the cataclysm happened. And up in the Perth Mountain, one of our mines came across a cavern, was dug out and inhabited by Draugr, before they went mad, from my understanding. It's a little dangerous and a little sketchy in places. I've sent 2 scouts already and neither have come back. I'm willing to pay you if you go out there. Not only will I do everything I can to clear your name, I'll give you something as well. I've got a few artifacts lying around, actually, that might be able to scavenge up a bit.
I'm gonna look at Paraspectus and see what. And I'm gonna roll an insight real quick. See what I see.
You have
Prologue
me as
will look to
okay.
Percy
I'm
with
just saying you have me as
anticipation.
okay.
You have my interest at old runes and danger.
She kind of sits back, smiles a bit. And says, Summit to see you're the leader, pointing at Paraspectus.
I mean, I am the one who holds the contract.
Contract.
He's paying us.
Oh, brilliant! You're a bunch of mercenaries, you all. And then
Most
the one
of them.
most.
Anubis is the only one not on the contract. She's here on her own free will.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh well, you're here for your own reasons. I don't care. Right, yeah, so I'll pay you. I mean, if you want gold as a group, I can pay you 500 gold. But if not, I do have a few artifacts you can choose one from. Of course, the artifact, you can't split that between 5 people. You can always share it, possibly, but it just all depends. It will be a day travel up to Perth, and I don't know how long you'll be inside the mountain for. And I also don't know how dangerous it is or what you'll find. But there are a few rules if you take the contract that we'll have to go over.
I'm going to look back at the group. Can we afford this currently?
Yes.
I'm gonna say, well, you're the one with the plan. How long does does the mystery person we're searching after have?
I'm going to turn back to her. What are we looking for?
It's a little complicated. And something that I can go into a bit more detail the day of departure. But there's artifacts in there that we want to extract. The collective is willing to pay for any artifacts found. And of course, there's also the finder's fee whenever artifacts are found. The first one's yours, the second one's the collective's, and the third one is the nation that you found it in belonging. And then it follows that path. Prologue.
Prologue approaches Paraspectus and whispers, "What if we like the artifacts more than what she is talking?"
Hold that thought. I'm going to turn back to her and say, all right, this sounds like a good
quick,
deal.
Prologue. Are you trying to say that quietly to where she can't hear it?
Yes.
Yes. Roll
He's
a
attempting to
stealth
whisper.
check. Roll a stealth check for that then. Actually.
Dun, dun, dun.
Retro.
11.
11.
Retro. Oh no.
Okay. Carry on, Paraspectus.
We'll take the contract. You said first one is ours, second one goes to the collective, third goes to the governing
nation of which they were found.
Nation.
Yes. And then it continues along that path. So if you find the fourth, it's yours, and fifth goes to the collective. It's a bit one of those ridiculous rules that the collective put in place, so that the findings and the sharings of artifacts are always spread between that they belong to. So the people who risk their lives to find it, of course they get a payout for it. But the collective should also get something, and the country that they're found in should also get something. So, and it also, a bit clever on their end, spurred the nations to actually start looking for artifacts more.
About what time is it in the day, by the way?
You're reaching close to around 11:30. It's approaching noon.
All right. So we'd have some details to go over, which means we could theoretically leave for this expedition tomorrow.
Theoretically. But then again, you've been here... How long have you been here now? It takes a while for these letters to get to me.
Oh, wow.
17
What?
2 weeks.
Just over 2
17
weeks.
days. Yeah.
And you're already here in YhaAark. You've done a lot. Take some time. Relax a little. We've got a great spa in the city. We've got a great inn. Just you'll find peace here. I know you haven't inside the last few times. I want to be able to give you that Reclorian hospitality that you've been denied this whole time.
To be truthfully honest with you, we've been denying ourselves it. And also, time's not exactly something we've got. I mean, we've been here for 2 weeks and I still haven't found my friend.
18
Don't worry about that.
18 insight roll on her while she was saying that whole, hey, take some time off, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, he's whispering. He's whispering. Sorry, I've watched a little bit too much.
Brolog is visibly disgruntled with this talk of peace.
Yeah.
And then besides it is, but you can't show it.
I'm just excited.
Suffice
I
it
think
to
we should
say,
leave.
yes, suffice it to say, I would be more keen to leave in the morning for the expedition, get it done as quickly as possible, and then be on our way.
All right with me. Just when you're ready to go, just make sure you go find William. He'll be by the gate, the front gate, the same one you entered. It's where his office is. If you can't find him, just ask one of the guards. They'll fetch him for you. And he'll tell you the right direction, where to go, where to find. And you can be on your way at that point.
Perfect.
What are these rules you mentioned?
Yes.
Oh, it's just the rules and the artifacts. That's primarily
Yeah.
it. Just
1,
gotta
2, 3.
behave in accordance to those.
All right then. Well, I
And,
think we're gonna.
Being foreign dignitaries, primarily yourself, Paraspatis, I do expect and would respect if you stuck by those rules. I'm trusting you to do that.
Indeed.
I slipped
Indeed.
into a Russian accent there. Ugh.
We will definitely be sticking by the 1, 2, 3. Don't worry.
Is there someone sitting next to me, real quick?
You are sitting, so Paraspatis got the left side with Brolog standing behind and Nubus and Eulandrion. You sat on the other side. So she's sitting at the head, you're sitting at the right.
So no one's on my side? Okay.
Either no one's on your side or Eulandrion's on your side. I'll leave that to
Nah.
you. Nah. Okay, you're sitting by yourself on one side, the right side of the table.
Alright.
It was perfect position for Paraspatis to be able to lean forward and glare at you.
Well, everyone to do that, actually.
That's true.
Just like it's just a court trial where they're just all eyeballing me down. Or
The Nubicide doesn't glare.
well, yeah, because you can't. Don't say you don't. You can't. Difference there.
I'm gonna thank her then, and then turn to everyone else and say, "Shall we prepare to leave then?" Since we just got here.
Stay the night. It'll take a day to travel up to Perth. At least do yourself a favor and stay the day.
We'll also need some supplies anyway, so.
Of course. Where do you need to go? I'll point you in the right direction.
General store, probably.
A general store for sure. Any library you have that I can get a book.
Oh, in fact, actually, it's actually probably around that point. The door opens up again because it's been about 10 minutes. It's probably actually been more than 10 minutes now. The door opens
He's
up
being
again,
generous.
and that elf walks in and says, "Look, see, there you go. I gave you 10 minutes, and are you finished?" They're just talking about books, just the person. head chief collector, or chief collector, head chief collector, chief collector of YhaAark. Larson.
YhaAark.
He's just asking, oh good lord, why this town? I hate it. He's just asking about books and where he might find them. Oh, brilliant. In fact, actually, I wanted to talk to you. Your eyes. What's doing that?
My race is cursed with the sickness of magic, which displays through a couple ways, vastly noticeably our eyes.
Right. Okay. Infliction of some kind. Disease. May I have a sample of your blood?
Sure.
Brilliant.
I don't think it's necessarily a disease, but
He reaches into his cloak and Ghelfi for a moment is like, oh, good grief. Of course he's got that ready on him at this time. He begins walking over and is like, sleeve up.
Brolog grabs his arm.
Ooh.
Brolog, it's fine. Any harm he's going to do to me is temporary and fleeting at best.
You release him.
It's got a very strong.
It's like getting a tattoo, except I'm not getting a tattoo.
Okay,
And
wrong.
then I lift my...
He rounds it off, looks at you, Brolog, and says, you're a very peculiar race. I don't think I've ever seen one quite that large. What are you called?
Brolog.
Brolog. Is that the name of the race, or is that the name of himself?
No, that's his name. He's a Loxodon.
Loxodon. Cork? He presents you the
Cork?
vial, asking you to put the cork on.
Oh,
Thank you. So, that was one. Can I have another?
how much can I give him before I start taking
You can give him
damage?
it's general human style for that.
So like 2-3 more.
Like 2,
'Cause
3
I'm-
more easily.
I don't have very high constitution.
No,
All right.
but you can
Yeah,
give it
sure.
to you. He takes another and very good. And you looks at your laundry and is like, you must be human, but you've got marks. Hey, Ghelfi, he looks kind of like that Cork. That
Click.
individual, the new one, the Alpha A. It's like, yes, he does. I noticed that. I wasn't going to ask him about it till later. Oh, well. There you are. Arm up. Hold it there for a moment. Stop the blood flow. Thank you very much. That was very useful. I think I might
You're
learn
welcome.
something.
Now, on that note of learning something, I hear you have books.
I've got plenty of books. Would you like to read some?
I would love to read some,
Brilliant.
specifically on language.
Language. Which one?
Well, I mean, any that are here, but I am very interested in Old Reclorian.
Old Andrean. That's
Old
perfectly
Andrean,
fine.
yes.
Recloria, that is our old language. We adapted this one after the Cataclysm. But absolutely, of course, I'd be happy to take you to the library and show you those books and even actually walk you through them. Lady Ghelfi, are you finished with them? Aye, for now. If you all have any questions, my door's open. I'll be inside here. This is where I meet others all the time. I'm constantly accosted by bureaucrats. Goes and sits down and you won't find any trouble from any of my guards inside the city. Just do me a favor. Sorry, I know you're probably gonna hate this, but don't fly. Please, don't fly.
every single one of us look right at Soren.
Brolog does not care and does not look.
How do I do this? I'm gonna grab her hand, and I'm gonna shake it or whatever. I'm gonna be like, "I wouldn't dream of disgracing your name, my lady." I'm gonna walk out the door.
Before
That's me.
she doesn't let your hand go. She holds on after you grab the hand and you kiss it. When she pulls it back, she looks at you, squeezes your hand, and says, "You best see that you don't," and then releases.
Yeah, just send me if you want to have a drink later, and then walk out the door.
Okay,
Fine.
like as
Meet
soon
me at
as
the Boar's
he's,
Head Inn tonight. I'll have dinner there.
as soon as that happens,
Gonna hit her with
I'm
the
looking
one,
over.
one of these.
As soon as that happens, I'm looking at Anubis' side. I'm like, please watch him.
You know that answer.
Please.
Very well. Your name was
Praspitus.
Praspitus. Well, pleasure to meet you. Larson. Hang on, I've got his full name. Yarson Yelov. It's a pleasure. And let us go. And he begins walking out the door. Where is everyone else going? I'm assuming Brolog probably follows Praspitus.
You got it.
Can I?
So will I.
Follow Praspitus. Perfect. So Yolandriel and Zorai, what are you two doing? Where are you going?
I was gonna go get supplies. Whatever he's doing.
Is there? It's like we're in a castle, right? Or like the.
You're in a mansion area that is walled off. It's like a separate inside. It's like the inner keep of a fortress city.
Okay, I'm gonna try to ask the guards. There's just a place where I can just shoot some arrows, just like in private.
One of the guards looks at you and says, that's a real nice bow. Yeah, there's training fields just out back of the mansion area. It's currently being in use. Just go there. Whoever's holding the clipboard, let them know that you're going to practice some shooting. They're the training guard on duty at that time. They do pointers. They might even actually help you if you want.
Thank you very much. That's where I'm going.
Okay.
With Steve in tow. Because he's still there. That I have to get back used to it again.
Steve in tow, Praspitus, Brolog, and Anubis going to the library with Larson. Yolandriel. You're just going off to get some supplies?
Yep.
All right.
Just general food stuff for us to eat along the way.
Just some general food supplies?
Yeah.
Okay. So, for the sake of not making it a shopping episode, you do so.
Oh, come on. Your laundry will be shopping.
Your laundry will be shopping. Okay, well, fine.
No, I don't
find a general store.
Oh, no. Oh, no. All right.
When you get inside, there is a gnome tending to the shop, and he's helping a few individuals out with a few things. And when you enter in, he looks over and he says, I'll be with you in the... My, that's nice armor. I haven't seen make like that in a while. Jimmy, come here and help this person. What can I get for you? And he walks right over to you, looking at you, kind of mostly paying attention to your armor.
Okay. I'm going to look him up and down, and then I'm going to say, need some supplies for 4 of us. And I literally count off on my hand because I'm kind of dumb.
4 of you. All right. How long?
Let's be safe. Say 4 days.
4 days, 16 supplies. General food costs. Pulls out a scroll inside his pocket, starts sifting through it. You'd think I would know this number by now. Just 1 day, 16. Let's see. 5, 2, 8. That'd be 8 gold for that much.
Okay. I give him 8 gold.
He fetches the supplies and comes back with a small burlap sack with him inside of it. Hands it off to you and says, if I'm not mistaken, that's the symbol of Eshnar, yeah?
How much gold did you say? 8?
8. Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna look down and then back up at him, and I'm just gonna be like, yep.
May I? As he reaches up just tentatively to try to touch your armor?
Sure.
He reaches out and feels some of the gravings in the grooves of it. It almost looks like Bjorn's work. It's not the right metal. Interesting enough.
Who's Bjorn?
Bjorn, he's only the best blacksmith inside this land. It's been a while since I've seen him. Though then again, he did kind of go traitorous on us, so... Ah, well. Got a little excited, sorry. He's still, like, absent-mindedly, doesn't finish sentences, he's not really putting full thoughts into it, just looking at your armor and then looks away and walks off again. So if you need anything else, let me know. I know where to find things around here, so I can always try to procure and find it for you.
I reach into my pocket and pull out my notebook and write down in it, Bjorn. And then I walk out of that place.
I will spell it out in the note chat for you.
I know how to spell that.
Nice.
Come on. You know me.
Of course, yeah, I know you. Great, there you go. Little RP for your shopping.
Awesome.
Not Zara. Your Laundry shopping episode. Yeah. Peraspitus and Brolog and Anubis.
While we are walking, Brolog puts his hand on Percy's shoulder and says quietly, I am pleased you told the lady to follow the laws of one. But for your goodness, it is 3, 2, 1.
3, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2. Oh. 1, 2. Okay, I see. 2, 1. I'll remember that for the future. Thank you, Brolog. I think that went over for Aspetus's head.
That's Brolog's creed is the creed of 3, 2, 1, and you were saying the rule of 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
Yeah, that's okay. Explaining that more for the audience out there.
Oh, that's so
That was
good.
fun. Eventually, Larson does bring you to a building. It is on the not the outskirts, but he kind of wraps around the mansion and enters what appears to be a nether part of it, but from what you can assume doesn't have an entrance on the inside. When he walks in, there is just this tower of spiraling books going upwards. Up the top, there's a wooden floor at the top end of it, with a hatch with the ladder that spins around on the inside of this tower that goes into that wooden hatch area. And he looks and says, "Welcome to my home."
Impressive.
Right, books on languages. Are you looking particularly for a book in Old Andrayan or about Old Andrayan? Because I've got both. I've got a few philosophers who were speaking about Old Andrayan, how the language came together and why we moved away from it and all that, or what are you looking for?
Both? Both.
Both?
Both.
How long are you planning on staying?
Well, this evening, the second question I was going to have was if you had one specifically about the language that I could purchase or borrow. Though, I'll be honest, I'm not 100% sure when the next time I'd see you would be, so purchase would be much more keen.
Technically, it's all collective property, so I can't sell anything here. However, I could always, let me see, hang on. And he starts running up the stairs and like, feel free to look around. I'm just going to go check something.
On which note, I am actually going to look around, and I'm not just going to be looking for things about Old Andrayan. I'm also looking into the north and maybe a little bit about Liban.
Okay.
he begins to search, Brolog would like to approach Percy once again.
You
Is there
are
any information
breaking
about
up badly.
Is there any information about tattoos here? Come across?
That did come across, yeah. So give me
okay.
a Peraspetus. Give me a perception or investigation.
Did I hear that?
You would have heard that, yeah. You were.
I'll look around too then.
Grant, would you like to do your own search, or would you like to give Peraspetus advantage?
Probably the correct answer to that is give Braspetus advantage.
Then roll with advantage, Peraspetus.
By 2 points, 10.
10. You'll search. The context of things are... You can't really figure out the context of most of the books that you look through. You not knowing if it's about the language or if it's just in the language. You do find books in Old Andrean, because they're written in a language you can't read. And it's easy enough for that to do, and you don't recognize as well. You do find those, but you can't tell what the context of the book is.
I'm going to mostly be sifting at this point.
Okay.
I was going to look for books about tattooing, actually.
About tattooing? Well then, give me one of those. Give me an investigation for books about tattooing.
Oh, and Brolog wanted to look for those too, didn't he? So I guess I will have to look for that too.
Your time.
So I'd
would
have
be
to do that
spent inside.
differently.
Yeah, it'd be a different roll at a different time.
13.
13.
Brolog would like to search as well.
Okay, give me one of those then too, Brolog. 8. There's a lot of books around. Anubisai, you have a better luck because of your understanding of languages and ability to know more. Lovely age. You do find one book on tattoos, but it's not talking about giving people tattoos. It's talking about the tattoos of Recloria. What some of them mean, the fact that some of them actually they're a, what's the word, like a society type tattoo. If someone's accomplished this, they can get this tattoo put on their body. Like a way of showing rank without showing rank. Of sorts.
It's useful. I'll show it to Brolog. Explain
Brolog
what it is.
Very pleased.
Didn't hear that.
Oh, sorry. Brolog is very pleased.
I think you're going to need to type it.
He's pleased with the book.
No!
We get
He's pleased
Brolog
with
is
the
very
book.
pleased, and then the rest of it just goes.
He puts the book in his back.
Oh, he steals the book. Okay. Don't you love technology?
Yep.
Oh,
The-
man.
It's around that time you hear footsteps on the wooden stairs that go up, spiraling around this tower of sorts, and hear him come down. He's carrying a large stack of books and walks over to a table that's also filled with books and puts them down. Right, here's a few selections from my personal collection. Most of these are handwritten by myself, so I apologize about the handwriting. I'm not very good, per se. That wasn't my master suit. And my master suit is speed reading through these books. Here, he pulls one. It's a thinner volume. It's not as long as the rest, or thick, and looks to be of a light type of make. And he hands it over to you. And these are my notes on an Old Andrean. You said you won't be around at some points, but feel free to carry these around. It's one of many. I
Oh,
copy them down just in case, and because I travel quite a bit, being the chief collector for Gloria, I end up in different cities constantly, all the time.
this
You
is
have no idea.
really,
So I have multiple
really
of these
fantastic.
copies around in places. It's not very in depth. It's just the general and the basics.
That is exactly what I need right now, sir.
Good. Well, I'm happy to have been able to help. As for these books, you can't take any of these, but you feel free to read through them. If you can read through them. They're in several different languages. We've got Scaled One, Halfling, Gnomish, Elven, Common, Old Andrean. Yeah.
Precipice is suddenly very happy and in his element and starts using that notebook. He starts perusing through the books that he's given here and looking specifically for Old Andrean.
Okay. Of the 9 books he brought down, 2 of them are in Old Andrean, all the way through.
All the way through.
They
Excellent.
look to be old. Very old.
I need to find where my language is.
Damaged a bit.
Do I have made common draconic? Okay, so I can read the scaled one. That's in draconic, right?
You recognize the figures. There are small, subtle differences.
Small stuff. I'm going to go ahead and put that one with the 2 that are fully in Andrean. Are there any in languages related to Celestial or Abyssal?
No.
No. Okay. Then I'm mostly interested in these 3 books, and I'm just going to start going through them.
All right.
See if I can figure out what they're about.
Perfecto. Prologue.
Once Precipice started reading, Burlock approaches the librarian guy, takes the book out of his pack, and says, "Do you have any more like this?"
He looks at the book and then looks at the pack. You weren't intending on keeping that, were you?
Well, yes.
If you don't mind, he holds his hand out for the book.
Burlock mine. I'll give it.
I missed that. What was that?
Burlock mines. He does not give it to him.
Please. That is collective property. I can't actually authorize you leaving with that book.
This is a book describing holiness. It does not belong.
It doesn't quite matter if it does belong here. What matters is the fact that it is not yours to take, and it is not for sale. It's a matter of moral principle. You believe it to be a holy book that speaks of these tattoos, of which I'm very curious as to why you believe it to be holy for that, but we'll get into that later. This is about the fact that you are currently, according to the way I'm seeing this and the way I perceive this, you are trying to steal from the collective. That book cannot be stolen from the collective, otherwise there might be repercussions of kinds that I fully cannot speak, because it is up to the individuals who are stolen from to well, actually then that would be entirely me who decides on that. But please, in other words, really just please, I do need that book back.
Burlock turns to Persepolis and says, "May I kill this being?"
Persepolis looks up at you in shock, confusion, then looks a little more closely at the situation going on right now, sighs heavily and says, "No, Brolog, you may not kill the librarian."
Who looks panicked and worried at this point.
That book belongs to the collective, of which we are currently in their territory. Now, they may not understand the holiness that you understand involved in that book, but that does still belong to them, and therefore he has to protect it as if it is his. I'd prefer if you didn't cause a scene, kill someone, and then have to have me break our contract.
You, librarian, can you copy this?
Over time, perhaps, yes. I could. I would be willing to take a commission to copy the book.
Yeah, it's a book.
Takes the book and gives off a small sigh of relief. It's like, oh. Right, what is this book about, fully? Just the tattoos. Well, lots of illustrations. I'll get one of my underlings to start copying this immediately.
Do you have any more books on this whole...
Actually, I might have a few. I can check around all these wonderful books and go through my catalogue and see, but usually about military-type books of this kind, I leave it for Lady Ghelfi.
Military?
I would like them.
Well, very well. If we find any more, I'll have those copied over as well. Each commission would cost about 20 gold.
A Paraspatus waves and says, no worry about the cost. That'll be on me.
Very well. I'll see if I can muster up a list of how many we have. I understand you... Are you... What are your plans? How long are you here for? That is probably a more appropriate question for me right now.
Not very long, Brolog. Not very long at all.
I think we're leaving in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Leaving in the morning. For where? I could always have them sent to wherever you're heading.
Pith Mountain, but we will be stopping back very briefly.
Perth?
Yeah, Perth. And then heading straight for Nutra.
Nutra. Stopping back briefly, Perth, day away. Why are you heading to Perth?
Something Lady Ghelfi would like us to look into to help persuade her to make sure we don't end up having more diplomatic problems in our future.
Sly mix.
Actually, that piques an interest. Do you know much about the ruins in Pith Mountain? Perth Mountain. I don't know why I always say that one wrong.
Not much is known about those runes other than the fact that she's been obsessed with them. She's already sent one group out there and they haven't returned. And she's...
I like our odds.
It won't be a problem for us.
I really hope so. Oh, God. Well, that means there's a few things I'm going to need to prepare for as well. You said you're leaving in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Well, feel free. If a few people enter in through the buildings, they're just my lackeys. They're looking around, looking for your books, and then they're going to start copying things through. Take a look through those books. I think they'll keep you busy for the afternoon. Would you like some food sent your way?
Oh, yes, please.
Good, good. Brolog, yes?
Yeah.
He takes the book and hands it back to you and says, "You can read through this, but you can't keep it. When someone comes to start copying it, do share. The sooner they're done copying it, the faster you can have a copy of your own. But I would like to be able to trust you, to be able to hold on to it and read for now."
Very good.
Right. There's a few things I need to take care of. If you need me, Send one of the lackeys. They'll find me. And he rushes off, looks at Nubasaya boys walking past and takes a look and keeps moving by, exits out the tower. Eulandriel, after you're done with the shopping, where are you heading?
To try and find the rest of the group, wherever that's gonna take me, I guess.
Okay. Where would you try to look first?
Well, I'd check for Zarai in the inn. If he wasn't there, then I'd go try and find the library.
Okay, that takes a while to find. As far as Zarai, the training area in the back is exactly as the guard advertised. There's several lanes for shooting the bows. A few people practicing and an individual holding a clipboard who's making marks and writing in current spots. And as you're approaching, he stops, walks up to one of the archers, starts giving him some pointers, and the archer's aim improves just slightly, and he says, "Good, now practice." And he sees you approaching. "Well, aren't you a funny-looking one?" That's
Excuse me?
an elf dressed in full leather. He's got an insignia on his collar area, and a very nice-looking bow of his own strapped to his back, with a few little doohickeys on it. And he looks.
What do you mean by doohickeys?
There's little knobs that you don't recognize ever seeing on a bow before. And he says, "You've got horns, you're all white, your eyes are black, you've got wings, you're a funny looking one."
I prefer different, okay?
Nah, I prefer funny looking. To each their own. What can I do for you?
Two things. A, I just want to shoot some arrows. Just want to get a little workout in since I apparently can't fly anywhere in this country. B, after seeing your bow and those little knobs you have on there, I wonder if you could explain to me a little bit about those.
Well, you've got a bow that can handle them, so... Yeah, sure. Arrows are back there. Don't use your own. He points in an area and starts walking to a spot. He stands there for a moment, sees you standing still, like, "Well, come on, chop chop, we haven't got all day, it's already 1.
Alright, I go over there. Pull out my bow.
"You're gonna need some arrows, too. Go get some arrows. Like I said, don't use your own."
Alright, I go get some arrows. Grab 10.
I give him another 5 minutes.
He takes his bow off and says, "Right." Grabs hold of yours and offers his.
Okay.
"Try mine out first. See what you like about it."
I notch an arrow and go to pull.
When you pull it, there's a device part of it in the front that has little notches on it. He says, as you're pulling back, he's, "That's going to be your wayfinder. It's where your arrow's going to go. These notches are signifying for yards. It's how distant out your target's going to be. Basically, it means if you're at 100 yards, you want to aim with the bottom notch. Aim for that arc. Of course, you always have to take into consideration the whole wind factors and everything that's going on there, but this will help out a lot with just general aiming."
Oh, I didn't hold up.
Oh. Internet!
I got up to right at about, you want to notch it up for 100 yards, and
Okay.
then like I got a single word after that.
I'll start from there then. When he's pointing at the notches, he says, "When you want to notch and aim with this one at 100 yards, aim for that arc of the arrow. Of course, it doesn't take into consideration air factors of any kind. But why don't you go ahead and give it a shot. See if you can hit the bullseye. Aim for the 100-yard mark.
I
Go
line
ahead
up with
and
that first notch and I let loose.
give me an attack roll. And add +1 to your attack roll.
I don't need it. It's a natty 20, boy.
Beautiful.
Thunk.
It goes
Ooh.
flying. And just, you see and you notch it, you get that perfect moment where that bullseye is just in the center of that circle and you loose. You watch the arrow go spinning up and down and straight into the bullseye. And he looks and eyebrows go straight up. Very impressive. You're a hell of a shot.
Thanks.
Bet you can't do it again.
Thanks. It's not my first time.
Looks at
Maybe
your
with this
bow.
thing.
Yeah. Bilford could fit this one out for you. Of course, it might take him a few days to make the specific designs. Looks like he got this in a different town. But he's got a few things you can might be able to attach. They're not cheap, but they're worth it, as you can tell.
How much are we talking here?
Nah, it's usually around 50 gold for an upgrade. Takes time. A lot of fitting. He points at his and like there's even a few on here that I haven't even shown you how to use with, but those take practice and a bit more proficiency in using. So you need to train on that, but this, it's an easy wayfinder. Easy to
Any
use,
chance-
anyone can.
Any chance we could work out a deal here? Or think Bilford might be able to work out I might be able to work out a deal with Bilford to maybe knock some of that gold off of that?
Well, it really depends on him. Can't go asking me. I'm just the person telling you he exists.
I just thought if you knew,
Ah, of course
Where's
I
he at?
don't know. He's a different person. Nah, he's outside the inner keep area. You're gonna have to go to the leatherworking or the woodworking shop.
And just start walking off with his bow, hoping he doesn't notice.
Oi! Oi, you...
Oh yeah, my
Oh,
bad.
I don't have
Here you
my
go.
thing up. I was gonna do the oi, you beep! It's like, hey, that's my bow and this one's yours. And he hands you your bow back because he had yours.
Yeah.
Well, it's cost me a pretty penny to get up to this point. Starts leaning with it. So I've got about $700 gold of upgrades on attached to this boy.
I'll play you for it.
As if, boy.
Fair enough. Alright, later. No, I'm gonna try to find Bilford.
Okay. It takes you a bit, but you do eventually find Bilford. While you're walking around getting up to Bilford's, you do see a familiar shape and familiar halberd of Eulandriel wandering around the town looking for everyone.
I'm gonna
else
try to
as well.
stealth by. I'm gonna attempt to stealth by.
Give me a stealth and Paraspita or Eulandriel. Seeing as you're not necessarily looking for him, I'm gonna base this off of your passive perception.
Yeah, 13.
22.
Okay. He doesn't notice you, and he continues wandering around looking for where the group is.
Idiot. Steve and I are just chuckling back to ourselves. and just having our own fun.
The inside of this place is covered in wood chips. There's a dwarf sitting down, currently chipping away at a wood block. It's like, I hate these figurine commissions. They're so stupid and pointless. Who wants a stinking figurine of... What do you want?
You Bilford?
Aye, that's me.
Was told you can help me with my bow. And I show him my bow with the little notches completely empty.
Ah, right. Give it to me. Takes and looks. Shabby work. Not the best, but fine, I'll work with it. Puts it on the counter and looks around, grabs out a piece of string with notches inside of it and starts measuring bits. It's not my own bow, so I don't do my own type of commissions on this. It's going to be 50 gold depending on the upgrade that you're wanting me to design and make. What are you thinking of for right now?
I mean, I was only told about the one notch. Wasn't told what any of the other upgrades I could possibly do were. Just one for range.
Most other ones require some kind of training. But this thing, well, I'll give you a bit... Hang on, you don't even know about the stinking bow and you've got it.
Yep.
Ugh, I hate tourists. They're the worst. Alright,
Yeah, I
look
didn't
up
buy
here.
it myself.
He points up at the top where the strings strung in other areas and shows like you've got different notches in different areas that you can string your bow out for different strengths. If you've got a heavier arrow, you want to do it on this notch. If you've got a lighter arrows, you want to do it on this notch. Sends it with a better accuracy and better shoot. And I could outfit it with something that allows you to quickly swip up another arrow and do a essentially bonus action attack with another arrow. So it can give you a chance of getting better accuracy, better notching, possibility of being able to shoot multiple arrows at the same time, though that does decrease accuracy, it gets it more difficult. Well, it really depends. Some of those, most of them, other than the Wayfinder, that requires you to leave the bow with me while I upgrade it and change it. Then you'd have to come back, and it take a few days, and then it takes a while to get used to using it. The Wayfinder is just a simple, I make it and I put it on.
So I'm assuming this is going to be pretty expensive were I to do anything, including the Wayfinder. 50 gold, but...
Right, Wayfinder's 50 gold.
Would there be a way for me to potentially work or do something for you in order to bring that price down a bit?
You know how to
Or
whittle?
maybe get it comped? I've dabbled.
He takes the wood block next to him, shuffles it across the table, leaves it there, and then puts the tools in front, and then shows you a hand drawing of a figurine and says, "You make that perfectly, and I'll take 20 gold off for you."
Okay, I'll give it a shot.
Okay, are you proficient in woodworking?
Nope.
tools? Okay. Then this is going to be a dexterity, not acrobatics, just straight dexterity check. Yeah, just a straight dexterity check. Or performance, actually. I would imagine performance would do as well.
So dexterity or performance?
Yes.
Or sleight of hand. Should be sleight of hand or performance is what I'd say.
I would agree. Sleight of hand or performance. That's a good shout, Eulandriel.
Alright, well, I'm going to go sleight of hand, and I rolled a 7. Well, with the pro, 17.
17? Okay. Braspis, Brolog, and Nubasai, you're all just hanging out at the library?
Learning many things.
Get my read on.
Getting your read on.
Praspidus has also found himself some paper and ink and is taking many notes in Magus.
In Magus. Alright. That is good to note. Very good to know. Okay.
I'm going to watch.
You're going to watch? Statue mode we're watching. Perfecto. Just hopping over to them to see what happened on all that real quick. Zorai, it does take most of the rest of your day to start whittling this away. You do eventually, when the sun has finally set, get to a point where it takes hours, basically, for you to whittle this block down. But you do get it to a point where it looks pretty good. Like, it's not exact, not perfect, but for not using woodworking tools in the past, you've done a good job. And the dwarf looks over. It looks like he's cleaned up the shop and you've continued working, and it looks like, alright, that'll be enough for the day. That's actually very good. I didn't actually think you'd manage to do it. I just wanted someone else to fucking take off the most of that chunk, but good job. Yeah, I'll give you 25.
Fair enough. Hook it up.
He hands you the bow and says, I already did. But of course,
Oh,
you're going to have to
you
give me the
sneaky
25
dog.
before I let it go.
Fair enough. I hand it over.
Give him the last of that gold, boy. You broke.
He takes
Smells like broken here.
he takes the 25 gold. Hands you the bow and is like, it's notched correctly as well. I fired a few shots with it. You're at the right ranges and the right finds. That is, he stands on a stool. Yeah, I think I got your height well enough. He steps down again and is like, if it's off a little bit, just bring it back in and I'll fiddle and fix it for you.
Much appreciated. And I rush off to the Boar's Head Inn because I almost forgot about my date.
Aha, yeah. Your laundry, you do eventually during the course of the day as the sun is still up, you do find where the library is. Eventually possibly caving in and asking a guard where it might be. Seeing as you've been wandering the outskirts of the inner keep and it's on the inner keep.
I see. I definitely do that then.
Yeah, you roam around, find nothing. It's like, all right, where are they? But the sun has reached downward at this point. Larson, he's back inside with you all. He's been reading quietly for a bit. What is your passive perception, Paraspetus? Actually, what is everyone's passive perception?
10.
10.
14.
10, 10, 14, 13, and...
Hold on a second. I don't know where my passive perception is.
Top left on
Left
D&D
side.
Beyond.
Well, not top left, just left.
Well, left.
Top
that's
left
near
is
the
your
top.
strength, dexterity, and wisdom, and then your ability score saves.
I guess that's right.
Oh,
I have
13.
13. Okay. Never mind then. Carrying on. Lady Galani does join you all after a bit, walks in. She looks, again, elegantly dressed, but it's a different outfit. Looks more of an outer outfit instead of a long flowing downside area of it. It is more trimmed up, as if she's going to be walking around inside dirt areas. Says, right, well, I'm going to go meet your other friend for drinks. I know he likes to drink a bit, and I do too, so we're going to have some fun. Would you gentlemen like to take a break and join us?
Sure.
Rasmus gives you a horrified look, shakes his head, and then goes back to work.
Scar,
I'm ready to watch this show.
Oh no.
Brolog, Anubisai, you chilling with the
Brulog
books?
does not react.
He's chilling with the books, that's good. Iron
Anubisai?
female.
I always
Care to
like
join
a
us?
good watch. The comedy.
I say this as I'm like smiling at her and like nodding my head like,
And she's got a little grin on. She's like, good. Have a bit of an audience. This will be fun. Let's go. And with that,
Oh no.
we should take a break.
yes. Heck yeah.
We will be back in a couple of minutes, you beautiful beings. Stick around, give us 10 or so while we lose a few ounces and get some things to
Gain a
put
few
the
more.
ounces
And
back
gain a few
into
more
us.
ounces.
Yeah. But we'll be right back. We're going to continue this on with a nice, relaxing for the most part, episode in YhaAark.
Yark.
YhaAark. once it decides. Hello and welcome back. Left most of the party. Let's see, it's who's Paraspidus and Brolog. They're staying in their library to read, as Lady Galani. Larson also stays in the library. He stays with you there. He has no interest in drinking. He's more interested in what Paraspidus is doing. But Lady Galani takes you through the quieter city. It's actually not quite as quiet as you hear right now. It's still a little busy. Like, there are still people, even with the sun down, there are still people moving around and bustling about what they do. Just having a nervous... There we go. Everything is unmuted. Good. I've had tech issues out of the wazoo with the sound stuff this week, so I've just got to make sure. But eventually she does bring you to the inn, of which, Zorai, you arrive first. You don't arrive before they do. Inside, it is crowded. It is busy. It is loud. There is an elf standing, bartending, the one that seems to be talking to everyone, walking around the patrons and making sure. And when you walk in, there's a resounding from all the individuals working inside this inn, resounding "Welcome!" as they continue moving about their business.
Can I see if there's like either an open table or an open space at the bar?
There's an open space at the bar, not an open table.
Okay, I'm gonna go sit at the bar and just order a regular drink and fill my cask flask. The rest of the 32 ounces that are missing from it.
Are missing from it? Okay, so regular
Or
drink.
34.
34 ounces, 16. 32 is easy to divide by that, but that's fine. 3 silver for the whole lot, because it's just the generic kind of brew inside your cask flask. When the bartender opens it up, it goes, sniffs and... Are you sure you don't want this emptied out and then cleaned first?
Fair enough. Go ahead.
Alright, it'll take me a bit, but here's... Pours you a drink, gives it to you, and is like, here's yours first. What's his name? Velarius he'll want to talk to you in a moment here. He likes to talk to all newcomers, but I'll be back with this in just a minute. He walks out into the back area. A couple of minutes pass by, and the elf that's been talking to everyone walks up.
Oh, you were just frozen for me. Never mind.
Oh,
Your screen's frozen for us, but...
Yeah, your screen's completely frozen for us. Internet! We love it! But...
Woo!
Oh,
there it goes.
Gone.
That's the big internet collapse right there.
That's the internet drop. And the overlay is all over the place. We've got...
Let's check it out. Let's check out this overlay.
Let's see.
Hold on a second.
Oh.
I'm your Laundriel now.
Your laundry is now Zarai. Anubisai is still Anubisai, and Brolog is still Brolog. So that's good.
The
Yay.
internet knows better than to mess with us.
Well,
Zarai, can you...
I think that's going to be a minute. I think it's going to be a minute, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's just...
Let's,
Hello?
hello?
Hey, look, we're both your Laundriel.
Back.
Oh, no, I'm
Yeah,
your
oh.
Laundriel again.
I'm back. What's it? There we go.
Hey. The joys, the fun.
Alright, so he walks off with my flask. I have my drink.
Yes, and the elf that's been talking to everyone, Velarde. I'm gonna write that down so I don't forget. With my pen that I dropped. Heh. He approaches you and says, "Oh, it's very good to meet someone new inside the city. You're a bit, if you don't mind my saying, different from everyone else."
What?
Ha! Joker. I like it. Funny. Welcome to the Boar's Head Inn of YhaAark. Anything in
YhaAark?
particular I can do for you at all?
YhaAark.
Actually, I got just 2 things. Can I get just a small bowl for my my pet here, my buddy here?
Oh, of course, a bowl of milk, bowl of juice. What are you looking for?
Just a bowl. I'm gonna share my drink with them.
Like, grabs a bowl, pours some brew into it from the tapped area, and puts it over and is like, "No charge. It's for your
thank
pet." You watch as
Appreciate it.
Steve clambers down your arm, goes over to it, and is like, "Meow," and starts lapping up the brew. I don't think I've ever seen that before. We're big into pets around here. I don't know if you've realized it all, but that's kind of what we do. How long have you been in town for?
Couple hours. Well, what was it, like 6 hours? Something
You've
like that.
been there for most of the day, so around 10 hours at this point.
All right, about 10 hours at this point.
Oh, so very fresh and new. Good.
Indeed.
Good. Well, as per have you been to a Boar's Head Inn before?
I whip out my 2 collector's flasks. Get them back.
Ah,
Guy.
very good. Undoubtedly, you might be wanting to add another one to your collection.
I am.
Pulls out the collector's flask of this location, points at it, and points out the difference inside of it, the Y at the bottom with the boar's head emblem. So, same price as always.
All right, I pull out 3 gold. And I go to give him 3 gold.
I do believe it's 5.
Really, Hank? Let me buy it for 3. I might have just been a friend discount. Sorry, I pull out 2 more gold. I'm kind of like trying to like.
Give me a persuasion check.
At 11.
11. He smiles like, well, Hank likes to be friends with everyone. Takes the full 5. Says, but we're not quite there yet. Maybe if we become friends, I'll give you 2 gold back.
All right. Fair enough.
He puts it down in front of you, and the door opens again. You hear that resounding, "Welcome!" And he looks up and yells it as well, and then he's like, "Oh, looks like Lady Galani's paying us a lovely visit for the day. Lady Galani, how are you?" "I'm doing very well, Valarity. How are you?" "I'm doing well enough. It's a busy night. I see you've got some guests. I'll bring you some drinks. You can clear a table. Aye, we can do that. Zare, come on."
Nuts. Go to him.
She takes you, excuse the dogs, they like to talk. She takes you to a table that has a couple of individuals, and she stands there for a moment. The individuals look and go, "Oh, Lady Galani, of course, yes, absolutely, you can have this table. Hey, here you are." And they wipe some crumbs off the table hastily and grab their drinks away from it and take a look at everyone else and, "Welcome to YhaAark." And they walk away, having seen the strange-looking individuals for a moment.
YhaAark.
York.
And she sits down,
YhaAark.
gestures for you all to sit down. Drinks are brought out, just generic ales.
This time I don't sit.
Oh, now she's a strong standing type. That's alright.
You don't know how much.
Well, we're here for a drink. Don't call me lady here, just call me Galani. I get enough of that from the locals. I'd much prefer that the people that come visiting and become friends with me don't call me lady. Ugh, I hate that title.
Only if you call me Demon Eye.
Demon Eye. How'd you get that name? Oh, your eyes. Go figure. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Well, if you're going by a given name, then maybe you should call me by my given name.
Well, perhaps is that.
The booze already getting to you.
He does that in character.
It's like the booze already getting to you, eh?
Long day.
Long day. Of course. Sudden death. You can call me that.
Oh,
Hmm.
I like it. Sudden
I'm gonna
death.
take a sip of the ale, and I'm scanning the bar for single ladies.
Give me
Can I
a
bring that to
perception
practice?
check.
Can I do that as well to see if I notice this?
You can do an insight too. to see if you can see that he's doing this.
No,
19.
19. There are a few. There's one that seems a little particularly perturbed by a few individuals who are talking her up or trying to. But there are a few around, you can tell. What was that inside?
Okay.
It's alright.
9.
Yeah, go
9.
ahead.
Yeah. You're more focused on Lady Galani than anything.
As I set the drink back down, my vibe changes and I start putting out the vibe. You know what I mean?
The hot guy vibe.
And then I'm just gonna
I
wait
know
until a natural time to go
Electrifying.
go to the bar. That way I'm separate from the group at that point, and then I'm gonna continue. I'm just casting out the reel, you know what I mean? I'm not
This
trying
is a
too hard, just
performance
casting
check.
out the reel.
Gets that little strut on the way to the
That
bar.
was strut.
Just
Here in a minute. I'll walk to the
Just
bar
get
here in a
ready
minute.
for that. Okay. And she looks between you all and you're well equipped. You're all mercenaries. Except for you, Nubasai, you're here on your own ends, which I respect. What's the real purpose? Dignitaries don't need mercenaries like yourselves. They're given guards, specific country guards, that are associated and given. Why were you hired?
Question I've been asking myself a lot lately.
We see Anubis. We see Praspidus singing to himself.
I'm a bodyguard. That's all I know.
I kind of have other business here, so 2 birds, 1 stone.
Those marks. I've been meaning to ask you. Those marks on your face. What do they mean?
I have no idea, but I guess that's comes with being an ASMR.
ASMR. As in, you're not human.
Not technically.
Fine by me. What do you know of the Lebon forces so far? Have you learnt anything about them at all? You've been in Recloria your whole time here, that I know, but
Not much. I'm not really a details guy.
not really details. Well, those marks, they remind me of someone. I've not seen him before. I've not met him on the battlefield. He's new to the ranks. But according to our reports, he's got the same things as you. He's got a given name too, Lightback. Apparently he can grow these magical wings at his back and they glow and they all glowy and stuff. I'll believe it when I see it.
Take another drink and I'm gonna set it down and be like, yeah. And just look her directly in the eyes.
It's nothing compared to my wings. Just give him a little flutter. Nothing too extravagant, just kind of like ruffling him a little bit.
Flutter.
I look over at his wings that reach out about this far from his back, and then I just look back at her. No, they're little wings, like bat wings
Little
on his
actual
back
bat
that
wings.
are struggle really hard to hold up his body weight. That's what I always imagine when he's flying. They're like
flying like a bee.
Exactly.
Hummingbird, you don't even
Hummingbird.
see them
Hummingbird
flapping.
wings.
See the wings flapping. So you can do that.
Yeah,
Can I see it?
for a while at least. I'm gonna kind of look around the bar at that point, and then be like, maybe later.
And you
I don't want to upset the vibe of this.
You don't want to upset
bar.
That's fine. You're sitting down at my table. Hey, everybody! Everybody shuts up. The entire inn goes quiet. It's like, quiet for a moment. All right. No one's going to panic. Show us.
Okay. I'm gonna stand up and lean my halberd against the wall and then just go into my radiant form, just kind of like,
ta-da!
Burst, and the wings, they fold out, and the people kind of around have to like, shunt away, and there's a whole gasp around the entire... What is this place called? The entire inn.
Tavern.
Tavern, thank you. That's the word. We worked at a tavern. But the entire tavern, gasp goes, and she just starts laughing. She's like, ha ha! God, that's brilliant! You can fly with those!
I kind of nod my head, and then I'm just kind of like, want to go for a ride?
Hell
Oh, you
yes!
son of a
She
bitch.
stands up from the table and grabs your hand.
He's stealing your date.
Okay, I'm just gonna kind of, have her strap on, hold on to my neck, I guess.
And she does well enough, and as you're departing through the door, she turns her head and says, "Go back to your drinks."
I can show
Okay, I go up for like 20 seconds, and then I bring her back down. And I'm just like, yep.
She's smiling, grinning with this face, and is like, I have ridden a lot of beasts before and a lot of creatures. That was amazing. I've never flown before. Thank you.
Yeah, well, neither did I until a couple months ago. But
I'm not at
I don't
the
know if you
table,
guys
I'm
can
at the
hear this,
door, by
but
the
it
way.
is hailing outside. So
Ooh,
if
that's
my internet
pretty
goes
lovely.
out, I am sorry.
Just as a warning, power has already fluctuated a couple of times over here as well.
Yeah, I have a feeling it might go out.
Coming
So.
my way too. Oof. I had some fun to be in this state. Woo! She wanders in. Zara and Nubasai, when you see them come back in, like the
I want to
door-
do something when I see them leave.
Okay, so when they leave. So that'll happen, and Zara and Nubasai, while they're on that swift little escapade. Wow, it really is hailing there. That is bad. They're just...
Open, sorry.
Okay. Ethan, while we're doing that little bit, I'm gonna put you on mute for...
Yeah, I'll put myself on mute.
Okay, cool. So, what are you doing while they're on that little escapade?
I'm trying to find a recluse section of the bar because I just got cucked by fucking your Laundriel. I'm trying to hide too, like not like super hard hide. Like I'm just trying to like blend into the crowd as best I can with my. I'm tucking my wings small. Steve's not like on my shoulder. He's just like kind of tucked under.
Okay, give me a stealth but at disadvantage. Because technically, hiding in plain sight in places, there are classes that have a feat that allow you to do that. So doing a hide like that in a place like this, you technically wouldn't, but I think that's bull. You don't fully stand out. People aren't paying full attention to you. You should be able to be allowed to try to hide. So try to hide at disadvantage. Especially seeing as you're only
18.
trying to stay undercover. So 18 from a specific individual. Anubasai, in that time frame, you just... What are you doing?
Statue. Just
Statue,
watching.
I'm bringing their drinks with me too. Screw their. Not necessarily gonna drink them all, but
Bringing all their drinks. Okay, so 18. Yolondriel. Not Yolond. Yeah, Yolondriel. Wow, I almost corrected myself to the wrong name. Terrible. You arrive back in with Lady Galani. She's beaming and smiling. A few individuals, kind of give her a cautionary look, give you a cautionary look, and then back to her again, and she waves them off, waves them away. And heads back to the table, looks and... Some bastard nicked our drinks. Where's Sarai? I had questions for him.
I'm gonna call out, "Hey, Zarai!"
Alright.
keeping them myself.
Okay, I'm gonna take a look around then.
Do a perception check.
I'm handing out some of the beers to just some of the people around me wherever I hid.
11.
Random individuals.
And just like in my direct vicinity, just be like, to like kind of catch the drift that I'm hiding after he said it's alright.
11. Okay. Well, oh yeah, no, she looks around and is like, oh. Leans over to your laundry and quietly says, he's sulking in a corner. Looks like he took our drinks too and handed them out. We'll let him be. That's fine. And then sits down at the table again. Well, I was curious about that. Because, again, I don't really believe these reports of people with strange abilities that they can exhibit and do themselves. Growing wings from their back out of nowhere. Didn't believe it until I just saw it. And apparently he's one of the new Alpha A squadrons. It's the top of the line units. Now that I've seen what you can do there, I believe he's going to be worthy opponent on the battlefield. I look forward to fighting him.
What was his name?
His full name, his given name for the battlefield is Lightback, though we've never seen him on the field before. The last Alpha A squadron was killed before the Amnestos happened. These guys are all fresh, they're all new. Never seen any of them. But his actual name's Emlar Jatson. And you, Nubasai, you're not here off a contract. And why are you here?
I seek out war, and somebody said this would be a good place.
Unfortunately not currently, but it will be a better place for it. In just over 3 months now. Of course, we're going to try to go for and sue for a peace, but yeah. The Lebonians, no one expects that to happen. We expect them to be all in with the war front. All for that, let's go kill those Reclorians. Nasty humans. No offense, Yolandriel. But they are nasty humans.
Muted.
Sure, not all of them.
Ah! Well, to be fair, the newer people, they're not that bad. Of course, you can't really have me say that too loudly for everyone to say. The ferocious on the battlefield. She kind of moves part of her shirt away, and while she does this, Yolandriel and Anubis, give me perception checks.
Can I see this happening?
You cannot. You are starting to stay out of their sight inside a crowd.
Yeah.
So just, is that a 15?
6.
Or 6? Is that cocked? Or is that a 7?
I swear it's sitting on the edge.
I swear that's cocked as well, because it's almost center screen. Yeah.
Raining like a motherfucker.
It's raining.
It's cocked if it's against the wall.
We've seen those dice literally land on the edge though before in the middle of the screen.
So this what check?
Perception.
Perception. So 14?
14, okay. But she shows you a scar that's kind of going down her left clavicle. It says, this was given to me by their new general. General of their armies. Managed to get up close to him in the last battle. Gave me a nice nasty scar. Almost killed my mount as well. It's a good fight. Very strong fight. As for the others, well, I've met a few on the battlefield that are honourable and good about it. They didn't live long. Killed them afterwards. Outside of the battlefield, never had a problem with them. It's just what they do during the fights that bothers me. They may be good humans. I've seen them raise cities before, level them to the ground with all the occupants inside them. They don't care about civilian casualties. At least we mind about that. It's all about the war, not destroying the cities. We've lost 12 cities thanks to them through the last few hundred years. Had to rebuild. That's why this place is as defended as it is. Got to make sure that we don't let them in. There's a YhaAark on about the war that you're not involved in. Although you may want to get involved in it. She continues, generally chatting like this for the majority of the night. Zorai, do you stay sulking in your corner the entire time?
I'm gonna try to talk to. So I grabbed. I'm gonna say I grabbed 3 beers because there was one for Nubisai, Yolandriel, and her. And I know Nubisai's not really gonna drink it, so just kind of grab that one as well. Yeah. And I just grabbed 3, and I'm gonna talk to. I'm gonna keep one of them for myself, and then give the $2 people and try to start up a conversation with.
Okay.
Really, anyone who will hear, because I'm pissed.
And I am making my way.
That I've gotten into trouble for to back on a girl that I was macking on.
I wasn't even trying to. I just gave her a ride, bud.
You know
you're the
what
one.
You did.
You're the one with
did.
cuck energy right now. You're the one with cuck energy. I'm gonna go to the bar myself and get some drinks. And that fishing line has been cast. The bait was my wings. Let's see if I have any bites.
Give me a general, let's see, performance.
That's no good.
Well, yeah, because you just picked
14.
up Ghelfi.
14. You, the individual who is being accosted by others, when you get to the bar and you generally approach, she quickly shoos them away and starts paying you attention. And actually starts chatting with you for the night.
Cold digger.
Skip the dialogue for general stuff, but
yeah,
you have a good
we don't need to.
And
we can do some rolls.
when your laundry all leaves, Gilani looks at Anubisai and says, great, well, I'm gonna go see about your Sulcan friend and see if I can cheer him up a bit. And she goes off and she starts spending time with Zorai. Brings you a new drink. And joins your table, joins in whatever conversation you're having with the other individuals that you found. We'll bring back to your Laundriel's possibility of success later on as we switch over to Paraspitus and Brolog. A short time after they leave, Larson... He is definitely not paying attention to his book anymore. I should actually switch this ambience. He is looking at what you're writing.
Well, I'm not trying to hide it from him because I know he can't read it.
As he's taking a gander at that, I'm just going to switch it to the evening sounds. He says, what language is that?
I am writing in my native writing of Magus.
Native writing? As in this is from where you're from?
Yes.
The hail is like this thick on the roof, like right next.
He looks for a moment uncomfortable, like he's shifting in his seat for a second, looking around, and he looks at his squires or lackeys as he's calling them. That'll be it for the night. You can come back in the morning. Thank you all. And they all
have they taken Brolog's book?
They have. They've been copying out Brolog's, the book for Brolog, and one of them presents it back to you with a slight bow, and then departs out the building, and he steps up, walks over to the door, locks it.
Oh.
And then comes back over and says, You said you're heading to the Perth Mountain. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
There is... Look, the thing that described that one more differently is the why we're leaving it alone is it's different. It feels different. There's a reason we can't send any of our own troops. None of them have come back alive, and our men are reserved for the war efforts, should they return back again. When I went to take a look, I saw that.
This writing?
Just a brief script of it.
Go on.
It was on one of the Draugr. It was on a piece of paper that they'd torn or taken off something. It was immediately taken by the royal guards who were there, but I managed to get a look, and I've never seen a language like that before. I can't make heads or tails of it.
Would you like a little insight? What
Please.
you saw on that Draugr, I would very similarly see, in that I wouldn't understand what was written on it any more than you do. You see, one key factor about our writing is that only those who know the individual who wrote it and have had it read to them by said individual can properly read what is written.
So even if I did have this piece of paper, you wouldn't be able to read it?
I would not. But the most concerning thing about this is, as far as I knew, my charge was the first of my kind to end up over here.
Then perhaps it was written by her. Or them. He doesn't know it's a her. So, them.
Perhaps. In which case, I may be able to read it, but I wouldn't know unless I was able to see it.
Well, with any luck, when you head out there may be more evidence of that.
What is a Draugr, by the way?
Draugr, it's underground species. They're kind of like our dwarven kind here. At one point, they were a thriving society who lived in the Underdark, but they, according to records, through the past 100 or so years, they've slowly gone mad, lost their sense of civility. Now they're more of a roaming pest in the underground. If you see a Draugr, you kill it. They're like wild blink dogs and wild displacer beasts.
Well, thanks for the warning on that one. I'm going to keep my eye out for any more writing then. Is there anything else you can tell me about where we're going?
Just that I wouldn't let my guard down for a second.
Perfect.
I have been to a great many ruins at this point. I have explored a great... Explored. I've explored a great amount of this continent. I have never felt a place like that. It set my skin crawling just by thinking about entering the building, or the ruins themselves.
At this point, Praspidus actually puts down his pen and shoves his notebook aside. Have you ever heard of the Smiling Man?
The child's story. Yes. Everyone here's heard about the Smiling Man. It's a great wives' tale. Scare the children into sleeping better. Although that doesn't make much sense to me.
So Praspidus gives him a detailed description of what he saw in the forest that one day. And then says, the only thing I can tell you is that this individual was smiling the whole time. and that I did not feel safe around him. My skin crawled. I felt on edge, and he was definitely poking around inside my mind.
Poking around inside your mind. I've come across artifacts that can enable people to do that before, but I haven't heard of anyone doing that themselves. Perhaps he has one.
No, I can tell you this right now. He was not using an artifact in order to poke around inside my mind. Where I come from, there are many people who do not need artifacts in order to do what he was doing, or what you would consider something that can be done from an artifact.
This would play into that thing you mentioned earlier, this magic.
Yes.
Interesting. Of course, I've read a few documents and books that go into a little detail about some things like that, but I've never taken it seriously. I always thought it was just a philosopher going mad.
It would seem like that a lot of the times, because most people who probably write about it over here don't understand it any better than you do.
Well, maybe with your help, the collective can understand it better.
Well, I would definitely be willing to assist, but I myself am not a magician of sorts, wizard. I do not use magic in the same sense that others do. The magic I use is innate and comes naturally to me. I was born with it.
Fascinating. He looks at his robe where he's got your blood saved away, and very fascinating. Does all your kind, or does all of the kinds from your place, gesturing towards Brolog a bit, exhibit abilities like this?
No. No, Magus are quite unique in this aspect.
And that mark on your face, is that given to you by someone else, or?
Born with it. All Magus are born with something very similar to this. Most of the times in the face area. Mine specifically, and I lift so that he could get a good clear look. It's the same exact kind of writing as what I was writing.
Putting down on the paper.
Magus. Yeah. This specifically says, so I don't get it wrong, one lives not as desired, but as a defender of life, which I have attempted to model much of my existence off of.
Oh, it's fascinating. Would you mind giving me a sample of your handwriting?
Of course. And I pick up a piece of paper and a pen and I write down some little things like this down in it.
About what time is it?
You're reaching on to around that 9 p.m., 10 p.m. type time frame. It's getting late.
Brolog approaches Percy. Speaks quietly. What?
You're chopping out so bad, mate.
What are your plans?
What are my
Going to
plans?
sleep? Or are you staying here and reading books all?
I think we're about to get to the point where we're going to go back to probably the Boar's Head Inn to rest for the night. Because we have a lot of, or at least I'm going to go there to rest for the night.
Prologue just yelling at you in the library. What are our plans?
Well, I can always take you to the Boar's Head, if you'd like. And thank you for this. I know you say I'm not going to be able to read it, but it'll be helpful.
Actually, you should be able to read the top one. That's my tattoo.
Oh, very good. He quickly inscribes the translation of that down. And interesting. I see the difficulties behind. I like this. You've given me some more research to do. I was wondering what I was going to be researching next, but this languages, indeed
Tattoos.
exciting.
You're researching tattoos.
That too, yes, tattoos. In fact, actually, one of them found a very interesting book on different kinds of tattoos. It's written in Old Andrean, one of the dialects that I'm not as familiar with. I'm going to see if I can try to get the head collector in Holden to help me out with this one. But hopefully I'll have some more reports for you. I'll see if I can send some collectors to different cities as well when I have more information that they might be able to catch up with you. Even during times of war, the collectors are allowed to travel between country boundaries. That's the joy of being an organization that's not connected to any of the countries. So I should have your
Agreed.
books for you, Brolog, and possibly, hopefully, some more information for you. For now, would you like to head out for the evening and go to the Boar's Head?
And I'm going to go and put the notebook that he gave me of the small one that he had copied.
Mhm.
I'm going to put that in the bag of holding so that I make sure I don't forget it.
Okay. And he takes you to the Boar's Head Inn. Of which, Eulandriel, go ahead and give me give me a persuasion check, and then just a performance check.
Two and 9.
Two
Not my
and
best.
9.
Yeah, not my best features. I'm not trying that hard. I'm playing it cool. Playing it cool. Shouldn't even need a persuasion. I ain't even asking her. I'm waiting for her to ask me.
See, so the part that your first start off conversation with this woman is it's loose. It's not that good. It's definitely not your best work. Like you know that. It's definitely not your best work.
It's been 3 years.
Seems a little bored at first, but she's sticking around and constantly looking at the marks on your face and your back and asking about how all that works, but she sticks around. As far as the performance at the end, eventually she does cave.
Oh, well, okay, you're using the wrong language here. Because you're acting like she's caving to my... I'm playing it cool.
As in, she caves to your coolness and begins
Oh,
starting
okay.
to exhibit a bit more of an interest. Yeah, she rolled a 3.
Right. Nice.
Oh, she a hoe.
Kind of. I imagine she found something like this.
Yep.
Like-
she
Wow, those wings were great. Can you show me those again? I'm never
Not
doing
for the
that
rest
voice
of the
again.
day.
I'm never doing
yeah,
that
not
voice
for
again.
until a short rest or a long rest. Yeah, I'm just playing it cool.
All right.
Yep.
For the rest of the night, Gilani continues speaking with Zarai. No one
Anything
approaches.
important? Or
No,
anything else?
just general talk. She talks about the bow, your wings, asks you questions about your eyes.
Well, I want to
your
introduce
horns.
Steve to her because apparently they're crazy about pets here.
Oh yeah, okay.
And I've
let's
never
not
done
bring
that.
up it. Yeah, she, after talking for a while and asking you questions about your horns and such, and why you look the way you do, and she's like, "Your friend. He's cute. It's probably the most charming feature about you."
Oh,
She hits you on the arm.
Sick burn.
Fuck up.
Sick burn.
Joking. Who's your pet?
this is Steve. Hey, Steve.
Sick burn.
I kind of pull his bowl of alcohol away as he's been just kind of chilling there, and I'm like, "Go say hi." And he goes over to her.
She gives him a look, meets his eyes, he gives her a look. She gets a little stern in her facial features. And he, for a minute, shrinks and then moves forward. She holds out her hand, he sniffs it. And then he puts his head inside her open palm hand and she starts petting him. He's like, I've always loved animals. I've had a way with them my whole life.
I mean, I've been called an animal once or twice in the last week and a half, 2 weeks. 2.5 weeks.
Only things I've got wings here are animals.
You doing all right there? Sorry.
I'm just grabbing my
continuing
drink. I'm
to pet
awkward
Steve,
drink.
and she's like talking and speaking in a very like, you know how you talk to pets, the whole.
And I can hear it
you're
all
just a
because I
cutie.
hear it from him because
And
he's
you're
like,
just
what
so
the fuck is
beautiful,
going on?
You're so cute. Look at those tiny little wings, and you're fantastic. You know, he looks like a small, giant, fire-breathing scaled one.
Yeah, except for he doesn't breathe fire.
No, he doesn't.
Actually, that gives me an idea.
He doesn't breathe
Later.
fire. That's fine. He's got a pointy little tail. Isn't that
He
a
does.
cute little tail?
I wouldn't.
Oh,
Don't touch it. Don't touch it. Don't touch the tail.
Alright, no touching the tail. There's different parts of. I'm a little surprised you all missed my cat.
You have a cat?
Hey, I've got a cat. I've got two actually.
2 cats?
I've got 2 cats and 23 dogs.
On 23 dogs? Oh, I have to meet all of them as soon as possible. I know we leave in the morning, but
I'll introduce them all to you. Of course, absolutely. Of course, the cats, they've already met you. They were in the room with us when we met.
I must have missed them. I
They're
was
in the
encapsulated
rafters.
by your beauty.
That's not the first time you've heard something like that. A lot of people like to rack on my beauty, but that's because they know my status. Being lady of a city. Ugh. Lots of potential suitors coming my way.
I don't care for status.
Yeah,
Status
neither do
is
I.
just an attribute.
I'd rather be on the battlefield killing my enemies.
Can second that.
That conversation continues for a while. Eulandriel, Brolog, you arrive, and there's a resounding "Welcome!" as you enter into the building.
So when does Praspidus get there?
Yeah.
Praspidus,
Hey, Mom.
Brolog, you
Hey, Mom.
arrive.
What's her name?
The resounding "Welcome!" as you get there.
Does Brolog notice the lady with your Eulandriel?
Give me a perception check.
This fucking
Crowded
guy.
bar.
What'd you say?
It's a crowded bar, so give me a perception check.
14.
14. You notice him. He's standing off in a corner, very nonchalantly putting the moves on this girl, who seems interested in him.
I'm confused by Brolog is confused by this interaction. He goes over there and does a perception check. He tries to perceive her via smelling her with his tongue.
I got perception check, Caesar, and then the last bit of that I did not get.
Smelling with
Wants
his
to
trunk.
smell her with his trunk.
Oh. Yeah, that startles her for sure. She smells like the flowers. Soft flowers. Or like she's wearing a perfume of some kind.
Okay, I'm gonna say, aha, Prologue. I'd like you to meet, and then I'm going to do a history check to see if I even remember her name.
Okay, go for it.
11.
Ooh, you know what? Yeah. I'm gonna say that fails.
Okay, do I know what it sounds like? Like, do I have like the first?
K is what comes to your mind. K.
Okay, there's gonna be a long pause. I'm gonna be like, I'd like to introduce you to my beautiful friend here. Yeah, this is Brolog.
Hey, Brolog, I'm Karen. Good to meet you.
No.
Hello?
I don't know. If
Why
there's
are you
anything
here,
else.
Karen?
Oh, it's okay. Well, I was just here to have a drink, and your friend came up and started entertaining me.
How was the library, Prologue? I completely interrupt you. I completely cut off what you're saying.
Uh-oh.
The borough library. It was interesting. They had many books about holy.
And
Oh,
I'm sure
are you
that
a holy man. Oh wow. Looks at both holy men. That's interesting.
okay, I'm gonna look at Karen, and in my head, I'm like, ah, man, you're pretty. And out loud, I'm gonna be like, so what else did you guys find?
I got Percy read many.
Where is
Hey.
Percy?
He's over there. Points back towards the door, which I assume.
No, he would have walked in and immediately started looking for someone to get a room from.
Elf talking to everybody behind the
Ooh.
bar.
Okay, that's where he is.
Prologue attempts to whisper to your one. This threat.
This is a friend, Prologue.
What does he mean by that? Like, what is he getting at?
Well, you see, Karen, in the world I'm from, one might say that Prologue's on the spectrum, and he's unable to understand social cues in the same way that you and I am.
Oh, what? What do you mean?
It's a little bit hard to explain. How about the three of us go talk with the rest of the group? Well, why don't we all join up with the rest of the party?
Oh, you've got more friends here? Okay, yeah, sure. I'll meet more people.
Prologue, why don't you take my friend here and introduce her to the rest of the group? I say as I turn around to the bar, and I'm like, oh no.
Wait.
And I order more
just
drinks.
told you he didn't want to do that.
Oh, he
I don't
didn't
know,
want
maybe
to do that?
Maybe it didn't come through.
It
It did not
He
come
said,
through.
okay, yeah, he said, I meant to say that if she's not an enemy, I don't want to have anything to do with her. She doesn't seem...
Okay. I'm still gonna ask you very politely. Please, Prologue, could you just escort her over to the table, and I will join you in just a minute.
Very well.
Which table? Because I'm sitting at a table by myself with Galani, and then
I point to the wherever you guys are at.
Your Andrea
Well, I
does
guess it's-
not, Prologue doesn't notice. He takes her to meet Anubisai.
Anubis. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Anubis is the one that you would see predominantly right out, because Zorai's got himself into a corner. He's talking to Gilani. It's a little harder for you to see them, but Anubis stands out in this crowd still. Because, you know, giant suit of armor, standing out in a place where there are no other suits of armor.
Okay. Prologue takes her over there and says to Anubisai, Anubisai, this person is Karen. She does not seem great. Leave her to me.
Hey! I'll have you know, I'm like the best person here, okay? Don't you get that wrong. Good to meet you.
Prologue
Anubis.
leaves.
Okay. While I'm at the bar, after I turned around and I ordered a couple more drinks, I'm going to give myself a pep talk saying, all right, buddy. It's been 3 years. This is you just getting back on the saddle. All right? This is just what this is. All right?
Let's get rid of
Let's get through it. Let's just get through it.
While he's doing that, Anubisai, she's just talking. She's not expecting any responses. She's just talking to you. Nonsense. It's all garbage about... And then Lucy said this about Gloretta, and Gloretta had this reaction, and Denise had to do this to be able to respond to Lucy. Just general stuff like that.
And they were roommates.
None of those people are going to become NPCs. Please no. Let them all burn in fire later on.
What is she?
Hopefully. She's an elf. Very attractive.
Any particular kind of elf?
Not in particular.
Since I know lots of different types.
Yeah. From what you've seen in this regional area, there's not really any distinctions between the different kinds of elves. They all look very similar. So you don't have your high elf societies or your wood elves or your underdark elves or anything like that. They're all generic type of elf. Not like in Quaila where you're going to have differences between the regions. Here in Andrea, they all look to be of one type.
Yeah, great. I think I'm in statue mode for the rest of the night.
Okay, I come up and hand her the drink and try and get her away from Anubisai because I know that is not a good mix.
So you continue chatting her up. You, Paraspatus, bleh. Mother will get it right eventually.
Doubt it.
The elf behind the counter who's talking to other individuals sees you come up and says, I'll be with you all in just a moment. Yes, hello. Oh, look, another interesting looking individual. I met your other friend over there talking to Lady Ghelfi. I assume you're with the same party? Big, funny looking one, and one with a metal suit.
Yes.
Perfect. Rooms?
Please. I know I will need one. I guess 3 will do.
3 will do. All right. Pulls out 3 keys. They'll be upstairs on the left-hand side. 3 rooms all the way in the back, all empty, just for you. This one's
Excellent.
the last,
Thank
this
you
one's
very
the
much.
middle, this one's the other. No worries about costs. Lady Ghelfi's already told me that it's all on her.
Oh, thank you. Well, actually, I should go thank her.
Yes, that would be much more appropriate. My name's Velarde. If you need anything, just let me know.
Pilati?
Thank you.
Velarde.
Pilati?
I will type it out.
Pilati?
Velarde.
I don't care what you type. I'm saying Pilati.
Alright, so, the rest of the night, Eulondriel, to seal the deal, give me one last performance check.
The club would work just fine.
Yes,
16.
A different category. Great.
Get back on my game. Let's go.
She eventually gets to a point where she gets real close to you and says, so, do you have a room?
I'm going to say no, but I assume you do.
Yeah, she does.
Okay. We scamper up there.
She actually takes
See you boys
outside
in the morning.
The inn and takes you to a neighboring house, which looks to be bustling with a bunch of other female elves. As she comes in, some of them are like, "Hey Karen, who's that with you? Hey, get over here! I'm just gonna be upstairs." And she takes you upstairs, and you have a frivolous night. Frivolous? You have a great night.
A frivolous night. Yep. See you boys in the morning.
Okay, I'm gonna have to request just one performance roll. That's all I'm asking. That roll has to happen.
This
I don't need to know what
fucking
it
guy.
is.
We've
That
already
roll
had
has
the
to
roll.
happen.
He's well endowed. We already know he's well endowed.
Doesn't matter if I know the most
That's
of this.
right.
Give us
I need one.
give us
I
a
just need
performance
one roll.
check. Eulondriel, give us a performance check.
I had to do
God.
it. He has to do it.
But because you are well endowed, the DC is lower.
17. Get wrecked, scrub.
Okay. For the rest of you, what are you all doing for the rest of the night as you are inside the inn?
I'm not sure how the timing. I'm not sure what time it was, but assuming I broke out of Karen around the same time as Percy got the keys, Brolog would just follow
Percy? Okay, perfect. So, Paraspatus, what are you doing?
I note Yolandrio leaving with the stranger, and then I set 2 keys down. Replace that. Set 1 key down on the table. Slide it. Or sorry, I have to be at the right table. I go to Galani and Zarai, and then I set 1 key down on the table and slide it over to Zarai, and then I turn to Galani and I say, "Thank you for covering things here. That's very nice of you. I'm going to head off to bed. We're leaving in the morning for Perth, and we'll come back afterward. Good night, you two."
All right. Just remember, let William know that when you're leaving. He'll give you the directions and where to go and about things. But good night.
All right, and then with that, I head off.
Peace, Percy. You will
night, Zarai. And you have a key now, Zarai.
And yeah, Zarai, she stays talking with you as long as you'd like.
The key I gave you was the middle key.
Alright, so try to be coy. and whatever I need to roll, but at the end of
I need a new group.
You need a new what?
Group.
Damn it, you made me lose my train of thought.
Good job, Anubisai.
I'm gonna, however it has to play out, I'm gonna try to, like, we're gonna keep talking for as long as possible, kind of a deal. And then whenever we get to the point where, like, we should probably get going, I'm gonna be like, all right, you want to show me those dogs and your cats and dogs?
What a guy. The level of coolness drops off so hard from Yolandrio to Zarai.
It's like,
you're gonna show me your cats and dogs.
I do
No,
know
it's
someone.
because it's at her. It's
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the coolness is definitely down, but it's at.
I mean, yeah,
but it's at her place.
I do have a friend where a fish in a bowl worked.
Yep.
You want to
see my fish? Yeah.
It worked.
So
but
if that either comes out or I can ask that.
It's not going to come out to roll. It's probably, let's say, around 1 a.m. so you can still get a full night rest. And she looks and is like, no, it's about that night where you need to get ready for your journey, and I'll show you them when we get back. She stands up and heads off and starts walking away and says, it's a pleasure getting to know you a bit, Zarai. I'm excited to talk further with you in the future. Slides you a wink.
You're such a good friend.
There might be some character development coming.
While she's hopping off that chair, though, you would be at a vantage point. Give me a perception check.
Oh, this fucking guy.
Is
lewd.
No.
Lewd.
Not that, but something else.
You said perception?
Perception.
This episode took a turn, boys.
17.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to take it in that direction.
So, when she hops down, you notice that there's it looks almost like a black sludge-like substance underneath her clothes that quickly slips out of your sight. And she's,
Are you... I'm just trying to,
oh my god!
I know what I'm seeing.
Oh my god!
It strikes you as bizarre, and you don't have enough time to question it as she's walking away and giving you that last response. When she leaves out the door, that's what you saw. A thick black-like substance that seemed to move by itself and shift out of your gaze and sight.
Like, just like under, like,
It's underneath her clothes, like underneath the shirt area. Just a small slither of it, but you managed to see it.
I'm taking my key, go to my room with Steve.
Okay. Anubisai, for the night, what do you do?
I'm already doing it.
Statue mode.
Statue
Standing
mode.
inside the inn, just watching people. Velarity does come up to you a few courses of the night and says, "Is there anything I need to do for you, or are you fine like this?"
Death never sleeps.
Apt statement. Quite right. Well, if Death needs anything, let me know.
Death will take what it needs.
That's a frightening statement. I believe you can too, so I'm just gonna walk away. And he walks back off to behind the counter. Morning time comes by.
I have to go to the bathroom.
Go for it.
Do it.
We will start with your laundry.
Okay, I'm waking up early to sneak out of that house.
Sure, give me a con save.
Okay. Oh no. Con save, let's go.
Natural 1.
9.
9. Okay. All right. You wake up early and manage to. If you want to know who to blame for those kind of roles, you can blame my OGDM for that. He made us do that all the time.
I want to do that thing where I'm like sneaking down like the stairs as I'm like pulling up my pants, you know, and getting my boots on and stuff, and then like grabbing the armor as I go. But I want to do this quick thing with my halberd, like as I'm like standing there, it's like leaned up against the wall by the door. I'm just gonna stand there for a second, and then I'm gonna hold my hand out and like see if it comes to my hand. I'm just gonna like call for it.
Give me a wisdom check.
Yes. 13.
13. It rests there. You stand for a moment. Doesn't move.
Okay. I kind of say out loud in a whisper, and I say out loud in a whisper, maybe next time. And I'm gonna grab it, open up the door, and then like close it behind so it doesn't slam, and then boot, scoot, and boogie back to the inn, shirtless, holding my armor and my halberd and my backpack and stuff.
Slowly moving, you move down the stairs and you get to the door where carrying everything. There is a single female elf, not the one you had fun activities with, but a different one, sipping from a mug. And as you look at her, she just gives you eyebrows as you slip out the door.
Oh, she didn't ask to pay for the night.
No.
I'm gonna catch my reflection in my halberd, in like the blade edge of my halberd, and I'm gonna have like a moment with myself of like, "Are you still doing this at 36?" And then I'm just gonna keep walking.
You eventually get to the inn where Anubis is in statue mode. Zorai and Brolog and Paraspatis, you all wake up in the morning time as early-ish time frame. Sun's gone up, but it's busy outside. While you're walking through the streets, Yolandriel, there's a lot of people giving you some strange looks by your naked top-half body, as the city is already bustling with a good amount of people.
Okay, as I'm walking, I'm just kind of like, and then I strap my halberd on, and I'm like, "Morning, morning."
Few of them shake their heads and continue about their business, presuming or assuming what you did that previous night.
A nice little walk of shame to the inn.
The walk of shame, oh dear. What are you all doing in the morning? Your laundry.
I'm just going down. I'm just going down to get some breakfast for me and Steve.
Perfecto.
Same.
Little hair
Morning.
of the dog.
Yep.
Hair of the dog.
Morning ritual.
Okay.
Just regular beer.
Well, at some point in the morning, you all end up down there. It's a quieter inn in the morning time. The only individuals eating at the inn would be ones occupying other rooms, or those who work and are still busy kind of cleaning up from the previous night. Villar's not there. It's a different bartender.
Is your Landro here? Like, are we there when your Landro gets there, or does he get there after we do, or does he get there before we do? What's the situation with that?
He would get there after you all.
Okay. I'm just gonna look at him, and when he eventually gets there, unless you guys want to do something before he gets there, I guess I should probably make sure you guys don't want to do anything. No.
I want to leave.
Okay.
Oh, I'm gonna walk in, and before you can say anything to me, I'm gonna like take a look at you guys, and like adjust my hair. I'm gonna go. This sounds a little bit better than the last one.
I'm just gonna look, and I immediately know what's happening because I've done this many nights before. Granted, 9 times out of 10, I had to pay for it, but I know what he just did, and there's just gonna be a look of like confused respect going on, but still upset that he wooed my girl in my style. But like, I know what happened, and I want him to know that I know what he just came from.
I am not rolling an insight because I don't care. I'm gonna look at Paralysis, and I'm gonna say, all right, I'm ready to go if you guys are.
Yes, absolutely. Let's go.
Okay, I hand out the rations to everybody that eats rations.
Okay, everyone who eats rations, add 4 days worth of rations to your D&D Beyonds, or make note of it so you can add it afterwards.
Would that be the?
That would be in rations in your items.
I'm going to ask Brolog what his feelings are on castration.
No feelings about it.
You do have rations. I know you do.
It took me a second to find them.
Yeah, I'll probably have to
Everyone's
find
got
it later.
rations
Doesn't
except
matter.
for Nubisai, so just make note of it now and we'll fix it
Yeah.
afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Castration.
You're breaking up.
Castration is a useful tool as needed.
I just choke on whatever I was drinking or eating at the time. Just like.
Beginning to think a few of our party members could benefit from this.
Do you say that out loud?
Yeah.
Perhaps I'll ask Persepolis when we're on.
You come near me, Anupasai,
And you can do nothing.
and I will fly so hard.
Up, away.
That will fly away so hard. Praspidus is practically going to pick his stuff up and get ready to just walk out the door because he's ready to go.
Yeah.
Ready to go, ready to move.
Following.
Following after
Yep.
Yep.
the laundry was going. Sorry, I'm assuming you as well.
Yep. Actually, real quick, just I didn't fill up the cat. I'm keeping one of my 3 collector's flasks empty,
Okay.
and I think both the other casks were full of the good stuff. I can't remember where we left off.
One
on
of them
that.
was empty because you
One of them
chugged
okay,
it.
so I'm gonna fill that one up with
Okay.
the good stuff.
The good stuff. When you do, it's a different bartender, but one of them. But she looks up and she says, "Oh, you black ice. That's the feature, and pale and horns, of course, as well." And she brings up your cask flask and puts it on the table and says, "Cleaned and refilled. With the refill, it's gonna be a bit more."
10, right?
10. Yes, that's right. Good. Yes, and for that, this particular caustic sprue comes in a few different flavors. You can have lavender, and there's chocolate walnut, and there's also candy.
Ah,
Chocolate walnut.
Chocolate walnut it is. It's 6 gold.
I gave her the gold.
She fills it up for you. It's like, it's actually one of my favorites. You picked a good one. And she screws on the cap, hands them both over to you all. Anything else for you? I do have quite a bit of cleaning.
That'll be it. Thank you very much.
Thank you for staying at the Boar's Head Inn. We look forward to seeing you all again.
I walk out and follow the rest of the guys in the back, of course.
Okay. You're heading out the
And
same
we head-
entrance.
Yep.
Yeah, specifically looking for the fellow we were told to look for that took us to
William.
the lady.
Yes, William.
Yes. William.
He,
should we just ask any guard?
he is standing by the gates, kind of looking around. Looks like he's ready to and looking for you all to pass by
Perfect.
and leave. He approaches and says, "Right, you're leaving now."
Yes, we are on our way out.
Very good. Well, good luck out there, and any of you want to adopt a puppy?
Wait, hold up? What?
Kind of an odd time to be asking us.
I know, but you never know. I've got them inside, and this last breed, this last litters, it's just too much.
Let me see him.
Hey, no.
We're
No.
leaving.
We're going on a dangerous
It'll
trip.
take a minute.
I
It'll
swear
take
to
a-
God,
it'll
if we
take
bring
a
a
minute.
puppy on this trip,
Brolog
It's gonna get
turns
eaten.
to
I'm gonna
Percy
have
with a
problems.
questioning glance.
We are not taking food that is alive with us.
Food?
Dude, that's a lie.
Just call a puppy food?
You know what? No,
That's what it's going to end up turning into.
I'm
No.
not gonna. No.
No.
Well,
you
not
will
food
take
for
that
us,
to
but
be
food for
undermined.
something
really
else.
Fair point. Peraspatus has brought up a very fair point. I keep that in mind, Zare. So when you come back, I'll show you the puppies when you come back. Okay? We'll have a nice, good puppy play date.
Can you keep track of the pet that you have?
Promises. So yes,
Keep a good one for me.
A good one. Well, they're
Promises,
expensive. If
promises.
I'm going to keep the best one for you, it's going to be 5,000 gold.
I didn't say best. Wait, what? Fuck you, bud. I'm just walking. I'm just huddling off. Just
Oh. Well, that went south very quickly. Good luck on your journeys. Hope you come back alive.
Lady Galani did say that you would give us directions as to where we're going.
Oh, right. Yes, I almost forgot to do that. You see that forest edge right there?
Yes.
Go to it.
Towards it.
Just go that direction and keep going until we find the ruins.
He leans in a little closer and says, "No, I mean that forest edge. Just go there. And maybe wait about
okay.
5 minutes."
Perfect. I will. Thank you. And
Right.
thank you again. And then I leave.
who is this guy? I just want the name for.
Captain of the Guard, William.
Oh,
I
that was
will-
That was the captain. Okay, I got
Captain of
it.
the Guard, yeah. Here, I will type out his
William.
name, his full name for you.
Keen
William
bottle.
Keenbottle.
William Keen bottle. Yeah, I got it.
William.
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 Yes,
With
that's
an
why I'm
N.
typing it out for you. Because it is spelt differently.
Oops.
Very differently.
Yeah, I got it.
William. Keen bootle.
When you turn around and start leaving the town, you notice that he's running. He's running for the inner keep.
Perfect. Right, well, I'm just going to march to that forest edge.
I'm gonna start taking. Actually,
Following.
I'm gonna take lead. I'm gonna be like Precious. I'm gonna be like, yo, give me 10, 15 feet. And then I'm gonna have myself and Steve go ahead and stealth up before we go in. Or before
Okay.
we get like anywhere near the forest.
Okay.
Yeah, and we'll give him 10, 15 feet.
10, 15 feet. Give me a stealth check
Yeah.
then.
So we can give him more.
So I got an 18. And then Steve got. How does Steve get higher than me? He got a 19.
He's small.
Okay. 18 and 19. Okay, you've snuck up to the forest edge.
I'm just gonna tell everyone, like, I'm just gonna wait at the forest edge, and I'm gonna kind of just gesture to everyone else, just kind of like stop, whatever I gotta do to get them to just stop.
About 10, 15 feet.
Yeah. Like behind us.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you're gesturing for them to stop. What are you doing?
I'm gonna roll a perception check
Okay.
to see if I see anything. Because the guy said like 5 minutes. So I'm like, during that time, I roll a perception check of, ooh. 7.
7. You wait about that 5 or so minutes, and you see nothing. There's nothing around. Nothing captures your attention. Let me just make a little quick roll here. No? Until there's a moment where you're all, everyone else, perhaps because you're Andrea, Brolog, and Anubisai, you're all waiting for him to kind of give the signal of, oh, yeah, you can come over now. When there's this right in the middle of all of you. As a dog, one of those dogs that you all fought in the forest on your second day or third day, here,
Blink dog.
appears in the middle of all of you. This one's different. It's
Burlock takes out his axe.
It's wearing armor, and it has Lady Ghelfi on top of it. And she looks at you and says, "Oh, what are we waiting for? Let's go quickly before they see me. Let's go."
Well, I wasn't expecting this, but let's go.
Okay, I'm gonna give a look at Zorai that says, "Your lady's kind of badass, dude."
She's got a buckler shield strapped to her back, short sword strapped to her side, and she's riding this thing with proficiency as if it is an extension to her own body.
She's a halfling, right?
She's a halfling.
I'm gonna offer to carry her and fly.
She looks at him like,
Is riding on the back of an animal.
she's riding on the
I'd offer.
the dog and is like, "That's fine, Ralphie's got me here. Don't have to use my feet. Ralphie'll take care of me, isn't that right, boy?"
I'm gonna ask a quick question. How's your stealth? How quiet, how sneaky are you? I guess is a better way.
Pretty sneaky. Sneakier than half your party would be.
Alright.
That's for sure.
Come up and join me in the front, and I'm gonna try to keep that 10 to 15 foot gap between us and the rest of the party, just to scout-ish.
There is a snap, pop, as she appears up in the front with you. On her dog. There we go.
At this point, Burlock puts his axe away.
And then we start to move forward.
As always. It's always expected.
Lead the way. And I kind of just like follow her lead, like literally like right next, just like kind of like this.
Yeah, a little off skew, but still technically next to.
Yeah, like right next. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And she
I'm like,
begins leading the way and guiding you all to Perth Mountain. The whole time she's like, "So, you ever encountered some of these lovely beasts before?" She says as she pats her dog on the top of the head.
Yeah. And I reach into my bag. I pull out some of my wolf fangs that I have, and I'm like, yeah. I put it back.
Those are wolf fangs. These are dogs.
Yeah.
I don't care about the wolves. You can kill the wolves all you like.
They were the same kind of thing. I don't know. They're a little bit different, but
Well,
they blink and they're gone.
Let me take another look at those. These aren't wolf fangs, are they? These are blink dog fangs.
They didn't look like dogs to me, so I call them wolves.
Well, I don't know what dogs look like for you all. She hands them off back to you. This is Ralphie. It's my number 3.
Number 3?
Hey, I told you last night. I've got 23 of them.
Oh, that's right. So he's the third one you got then, huh?
Aye, it's my 3rd one. It's gonna take about a day to travel to Perth Mountain. Could all keep up, that is.
Yeah, well, we'll see if they can keep up with us. They a couple of them should be, but I know your Andrea, he went home with a special lady last night.
It is a new day. Zora, give me a random D20 roll. I almost forgot.
10.
10.
While you're doing that, I'm just gonna RP you.
Okay.
So that's 1. That's 22 more to go.
Ah, you'll meet them eventually. Now, I'm sorry I didn't tell you I was going to be joining you on this earlier on. They're, when I say I'm trapped inside that place, I literally mean trapped. The only people who let me out are William and Larson. According to the other officials, I'm sick at home. I'm in bed. So, I never came with you, okay? Any reports you sign off on, I never came with you. Just had to get out and stretch my legs. It's been a while since we've done something like this.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of lower my voice a little bit to make sure that the rest of the party back can't hear us. I couldn't help but notice a little black substance thing as you left last night. Now, I'm not gonna tell anyone. I'd like to know what that was.
Dream on, Demon Eye, she says as she rides forward a little bit farther ahead of you.
That's personal.
Just try to catch up to her.
She continues for quite a while in silence after that. Doesn't say anything, just guides you all through the forest. Through specific spots. There are times where she stops and says, "Stay here for a moment," and rides ahead of all of you. It disappears into some of the brush areas. During that time, everyone just give me some perception checks. See who hears this kind of stuff.
Am I hearing it?
You're hearing. You can also be smelling, so Prologue with perception, with advantage. 21.
21.
16.
11, 16. That looks like a 16 as well. And Praspitus?
11.
11. Those who got above a 13. You hear, in the forest, whenever she does this, there's brief moments of low growling, low sounds,
Oh no,
and
that was
then
10.
movements inside the forest of larger groups, or a larger, sounds like animal movements. Brolock, you would get the smell, and you would smell that there are other blink dogs in the area. However, the smell begins to dissipate slowly as a breeze moves through. Zorai, you're muted.
You said she does this multiple times?
She does it a couple of times.
After the first time, I'm going to try to sneak up and kind of, I don't know if I can see which direction she heads in, but I want to try to go towards the direction she goes towards sneakily.
You would give me a stealth check.
18.
18? Okay. You, with your wings, you manage to get into a location where you're up in the trees and you can peek through. You see that there seems to be a group of blink dogs who were roaming through the forest, getting inside your way, and she is approached. She's gotten off her own and begins handling them. It's like a form of negotiating, you might say. You're not, are you proficient? You're not proficient with animal handling, are you?
No, but I have communicate with animals if that does anything.
That is a spell.
Yeah.
So unless you cast it,
speak
would
with
do
animals.
nothing. That is a spell.
Do I see one off, let's just say this is the first encounter I see him doing this, right?
That would be, so that you've had one encounter, there's only 2 times that this happens. It would be the second encounter that you're seeing her do this.
Okay.
See or not. You don't fully understand what she's doing, but eventually the other dogs, they turn and they leave.
But it just looks like she's talking to him and then they leave.
It looks like she was engaging in some form of negotiation.
Okay, so I'm gonna quickly go back to where I was and wait for her to get back.
She eventually does, and goes through the course of the day. The night comes around. She stops and says, "Right, we're about an hour out from the mountain. I suggest we camp out here. It should be safe enough. Ralph doesn't smell any of his kind around, and I don't think there are any displacer beasts around here. At least there weren't last time I checked."
I'm gonna suggest she camps by me, kind of like on the outskirts of the camp, because I'm not really camping by anyone else at this point.
Safety in numbers, Zara. It would be better if we all camped within the range.
Still
of
within
the
the
fire.
boundaries, but we're just like everyone's kind of like. Here's this. I'm just for my. Just so you know what I'm trying to say is like literally. So like we're over here. They're on this side of the campfire.
Which she says, again, safety in numbers. We better stay within the light of the campfire. And
We're still on the light of the campfire. We're just on the other side. We're just on the other side, so we can talk in private.
I suggest we stay with everyone else. And she moves over towards everyone else and begins unrolling her bedroll closer to everyone else.
Brolock eats rations and then goes to...
Perfecto.
I'm gonna stay awake for first watch, at least. See where the rest goes, but I'm going to have Steve keep an eye on her. Like I'm gonna send him up in like just like the trees up above us.
Okay.
Or just like above us, or just like slightly up, but keep an eye on her.
She has. Ralph is in between her and the rest of the group. Like, she still is closer to you than everyone else, but she's closer to the fire and the group. Like, she's not as far out. So there's no way you can have a private conversation with her. But she's not trying to say, go away. She's just more of a... In fact, actually, give me an insight.
I call second watch.
Second watch, okay.
11.
11. Best you can tell, she may not want to have a private conversation. But while she's sitting there, looks around at all of you and says, right, now that we're outside of prying ears, there's no way a country mounts an expedition to go save some random friend. Who is this person?
So, Praspidus gets comfortable, and as he's kind of just poking at his rations, he says, while I was being taught everything I know, I was taught specifically by the princess of my people. I better remember her name.
Kostia.
Brolock is his...
Kostia. Kostia. She's not just royalty. She's also a really good friend. And a couple months back, she went missing. So that's who I'm here looking for.
And she's of your kind.
Mm-hmm. She is a magus.
Larison told me that there's potential signs of a magus inside Perth. He saw the
he
same
mentioned.
writing of yours.
Yeah, he mentioned a Draugr had some writing of it. You didn't happen to get a glance at that writing, did you?
No. House arrest. Wherever any major guard or people of any kind are, I can't be seen there.
That makes sense. Well, if there is a magus at work somewhere around here and it isn't Kostia, then I don't know who it is.
On a general scale, 1 to 10, how bad could that be?
13?
Bad. Was your race evil of some kind?
I mean, not that I know of, but we are innately magic. And magical. And magic in and of itself can be incredibly dangerous if used poorly.
All things I don't fully understand, but that's fine. I'll leave that to you. We're strange types, you and Larson both. I'm much more in the field of prologue here. I would much rather smash, stab, and kill than subterfuge or do whatever those weird things you do are.
Oh, trust me. I've seen Magus at work that don't use subterfuge. You would know. That's for sure. You would know. But this one definitely looks more like subterfuge, so. If it's a different Magus, that is.
We should hope that it's your princess, then. And that would mean that I'm very delighted to be helping you with this, to possibly discover and find her. And either way, if you leave a description for me, I'll see what I can do on my side. Perhaps, when you've separated here, I can find a way to find her. Or at least
that would be fantastic.
Explore this place. I want to make sure that you all understand the actions of everyone else inside this country. They're not all of ours. We're not all assholes, like Captain Hagduin. Some of us are actually quite nice to newcomers.
I won't lie, I wanted Brolog to stick his axe so far up captain's bumhole that he could taste the steel.
Would have paid to
I'm gonna pull up my my little night things that I use to cover my eyes, and I'm gonna be like, bumhole, and then move them back down and lay back to sleep.
A giant fire-breathing lizard thing.
Yeah.
Can I insight
Exactly.
when your Landriel wakes up and says bumhole to see if that isn't any correlation? Like if I can pick up any hint of that's kind of like where he was at the night that he just walked into the.
No. Where are you taking these things?
It's gonna be a no. There's no way you can tell from the previous night whether or not he got into some kinky butt stuff. No,
it was just more fine.
No,
it's just more.
The conversation
fine,
isn't even regarding that whole subject. So your
I know, but he was sleeping and he came up with bumhole. Like
your insight would be to the conversation that is current, not what happened previous nights. You would have to lead the conversation to talk about that situation to be able to do an insight on whether or not to tell if his stuff got into that kind of situation. Wrong conversation.
Besides,
wrong context.
We've already established your Landriel doesn't like it when people use words that it's just much easier to use a different word that are completely. I already don't like it. So like, just say ass. You know, that's one less syllable for sure.
Yep. Bumhole.
Bumhole. Good lord. Gilani says, I genuinely actually would have paid to see that. The only reason I'm excited for the war to get started again was A, I might actually see some action, and B, some of the assholes inside this country might die. As much as I hate to say it, some of our leaders are just downright awful.
I've been wondering, are there any, I wouldn't necessarily expect you to be able to answer this question, but are there any, groups that I need to be aware of out there because obviously we're heading towards Liban, and I don't want to accidentally stumble on something and, like, for instance, a spy, and accidentally have them get revealed. So is there anything like I should be wary of avoiding, per se, like conversation-wise, when I get to Liban?
She genuinely actually has this very confused look. I genuinely really don't know what you're getting at.
I guess what I'm saying is I'm noticing on this side of the field, there might be some groups that want to start the war faster than you would expect. Or make sure it starts for sure.
That's... Yes, of course. I mean, Captain Hagdewin, he's definitely one of the ones who really wants the war to start. I myself, I wouldn't be opposed to a war, but at the same time, I'd like citizens of YhaAark to protect. I don't want to get into another siege. I'd rather prefer we didn't. The last one we lost half their infrastructure and had to rebuild. Of course, that was before I was the Lord Protector of it. Or the Lady Protector, as they're called. Ugh, I hate that title. I much prefer being called a general. Well.
Yeah.
She owns, along with her dog. Oh, if there's not anything else for the night, I might turn in with Ralph here.
Indeed. I'm going to pull out my book and the book that the one guy gave me and start going through that stuff before going to sleep.
Before sleep? Cool. Add an hour to your tick list. And who's got first watch and second watch?
I got first.
First and second. Who's on third? Or is no one else taking third?
Doesn't look like anyone else taking third.
Yes, it's just a new beside.
Yeah, it's just a new beside.
Alright, well, your watches are actually quite peaceful. There's some animal noises around. At one point, Ralph does look up, sniffs the air, then puts his head back down and goes back to sleep. Lady Ghelfi, she is resting her head up against Ralph, kind of moving them up with the breaths of her dog, falling asleep like that. But we will do some perception checks. So Anubisai and Zorai, give me a perception check for other reasons. Paraspatus, you also give me a perception check for the hour that you're staying up or reading. Is that a 51?
15.
Okay, it's the wrong way from
I forgot it's flipped. It's flipped, so...
Is that a 15 from Anubisai too?
14.
14.
Remember one for Steve as well? I don't think he has any bonuses, though.
8.
8. Okay. It would be... Neither of you would actually see it. Okay, so, nothing for the watch. It comes around to your Londriels. Zorai, are you waking your Londriel up?
No. And I'm just still having Steve up at watch. Like I'm saying, you're staying awake because I want him to watch her.
Okay.
Like, for just future perception checks and just being...
Be sure to note on your side, Steve will take a point of exhaustion for staying up.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Anubisai, are you waking up your Londriel for his watch?
Yes.
Okay. Your Londriel, you have been woken up for your watch. So give me some perception checks.
I don't think Steve gets any bonuses.
Nothing.
Oh yeah, no, he does. He does. 17 for Steve.
17 for Steve. Your Londriel. Steve doesn't see it, but your Londriel you do. While you're taking a general gander around in the encampments areas, for a moment, on Lady Ghelfi's left hand, so she's kind of sleeping with her hands folded up on her chest. On the left hand, there is a moment where there's a black substance that seems to be moving, but when you grace your eyes over it, it slips directly back under her sleeve. You're muted.
Let me look through my spells real quick.
Yes.
I don't think I have anything. I do not.
Someone should go through all the videos and just encapsulate all of the "you're muted" into one video. Just a bunch of "you're muted, you're muted, you're muted, you're muted, you're muted."
Okay. Well, have a spell ready to go, so I cannot detect undead. Unless is that a hold
That
on.
would not be a good idea.
I am a cleric, so hold on, give me a second.
He might have some cleric bull up his sleeve.
Detects undead. Anubici.
Bright glow.
Bing! Big old radiant energy. Well, necrotic.
Yeah, I got nothing. Nothing that isn't going to either cause damage or cause Anubici to flee if she fails a wisdom saving throw. So,
Oh, I won't fool you. Don't worry about that.
yeah, I'm gonna take just a step closer, and then I'm just gonna take a step closer and take a closer look.
Okay. Give me an investigation. Actually, no. Not an investigation.
Good thing, because that was a terrible roll.
Terrible roll. Yeah, you should be very glad I changed my mind on that before you told me that. That was a 0 for those who were
A
curious.
0 investigation.
A flat 1 with negative numbers.
Every episode.
This is actually...
Would it be a religion, perhaps?
Would not be a religion.
No.
This would not be a religion.
And
What are you
I think
trying
it's
to
perception.
give me a bit more. Are you trying to look for it? What are you trying to do?
Yeah, I'm looking for it, and I'm seeing if I feel anything. If my cleric senses are tingling.
That would be an arcana.
Okay. 3.
Thank God.
Nothing. You see Lady Galani sleeping peacefully on the chest
Pervert.
of Ralph, or Ralphie. Slowly moving up
Okay.
and down as Ralphie breathes.
I'm going to do a religion check to see if I ever learned anything about that in my 3 years.
Go for it.
13.
Nothing. There's nothing striking any bells. This is a strange sight for you to see.
Okay, well, I am going to make a mental note of that and bring it up tomorrow. I kind of turn back around to the forest and continue my watch.
All right. Your watch comes to a close. Comes to third watch. Anubisai, if you would like, you can do a perception check. Nothing necessarily is going to happen, but...
Good.
Yeah,
Because
you
I don't see anything.
You see nothing. Peaceful for the most part. Quiet. Very quiet night. So,
Even the third. Wait, did you? Yeah.
during your sleeps, you open your eyes to a well-known forest at this point. Give me a perception.
I don't know where that dice just went. 1 second. Six.
6. It still seems strange, foreign. Parts of it really reminds you of where you're from, but other parts of it's kind of looking like the forest you've been walking through for a little, but it still seems strange. As always, a moment passes by when you see your old mentor, Varys, walk out from behind a tree. He sits down, crosses his legs, and gestures for you to approach.
I do so and sit down exactly like he is, right next to him.
He smiles again, holds his hands out inside this meditative, resting them on his shoulders. Well, not his shoulders, on his knees. Why did I say shoulders? On his,
Does it look cool?
Hey, it does. My name's Boris. He puts them on his knees. And you hear inside your head, he doesn't say anything, you just hear it cleanly in your head. Focus. Feel the earth beneath. Feel the trees around. And his eyes are closed as he is also... What's the word for this? Showing, basically, what to do. Trying to.
I try to mimic it.
Alright. Give me a wisdom saving throw.
Where is there it is. 15.
15. As you close your eyes, you focus on the ground beneath you. You feel the grass blades tickling your naked parts of your leg as they come up and scratch. You can feel the wind breeze move through for a second. You extend your consciousness and begin to feel the bark on the trees, the leaves moving through the wind, or as the wind moves through them. And then your vision darts. It begins moving rapidly, very speedily through the forest. And you hear inside your head, "It is sick, Zarai. Feel the sickness." And it zooms off onto this mountainside, into this cave, through the walls, and you find yourself standing in an empty room, constructed. The stonework was very obviously mason worked out and put where it is. There's stone pillars, a couple that have fallen down, fallen apart, but in the middle of this room grows a tall, black tree. The leaves are crimson red, and in the center there is a twist and a knot with a black, starlight crystal growing in it. Your vision begins to blur for a second as you feel just how wrong this is. Just how poisoned this tree has been and how it is poisoning the ground beneath you. You rush back to your own body. Your eyes dart open, and Varys is staring at you. He reaches out, grabs one of your hands, and he has a very stern look. And you hear once again, "Save the land, Zarai. Do what I trained you to do."
But you trained me to kill.
And a smile creeps across his mouth. "Yes, I did. So kill it." And you wake up in the forest. And that's where we're going to end it for the night.
Woo! Cliffhangers all around. And you get a cliffhanger.
And
you get a cliffhanger. And you get a
cliffhanger. I love cliffhangers.
Everybody gets cliffhangers.
They're the best. That's us
Heck
for the
yeah,
week,
guys.
everybody. That's Tales of Andrea. They managed to actually get into a town without getting kicked out.
We done it.
Good job, everybody.
did a thing.
I'm proud of you. And you met a new friend, Lady Galani.
I took the campaign down a weird road. Sorry, boys. Sorry. I was not expecting it to get weird.
At least it's not a melon.
You know, at least you can't get as weird as Zara. So
very subtle, Zara. Well, thank you everyone.
We're still live. Sorry.
At home who has joined
Yes.
us today. Thank you for coming to the inn. We look forward to seeing you all next week on Tales of Andrea. Cathris, thanks for stopping by. For all of
Right?
you
Yes.
here, Cathris is ROG DM. He's the one who basically trained Von and myself on all of this.
Yep.
So
whenever something mad happens or something completely off the rails and insane, you can blame Cathris.
The dolphin story? No, that was Spencer, I think. But that also might have been Cathris. But
no, actually,
way,
I think that was one of Cathris's campaigns.
I think that was one of their campaigns. You can also thank Cathris for the Hugler pit. He's to blame for that.
Oh, isn't that the name he mentioned?
No, it's not. Four-armed creatures, Hugler pits, grow in size. The one that I used to grapple a god. Anyway, thanks for dropping by. Remember Wednesdays playing with Mutz. That's me and Von. We're playing Valheim. I crushed him last time. I used to crush him last time. So funny times ensue. We tried fishing. It was awful. So we stopped.
We're not very good at it.
Friday, Ethan. This Friday, is it you in the host? It is you in the host seat. Yeah.
Yes, I am in the hot seat. It's gonna be a weird one, guys. So buckle up for that one.
Ethan's in the hot seat for Hate, Laugh, Love. That's our movie review stream. Tea Time with Murray. That is not this week, coming week. We might have a special stream this Thursday. I need a double check. I forgot to do that with the person I do that with, just in case. But keep an eye on Twitters for that. We announce everything on Twitter. And then again, we did hit affiliate last week.
Woo!
That whole 60 mark full. So if you do want to support us, we have a great way for you to do that now through the subscribes button. Go ahead, if you have your Amazon Prime and you haven't used it yet, what a better place to do than give that to a local business. I'm kidding on that whole thing.
A local business.
You know,
local business. It is.
It's you give it to the bars you go to and drink at. But I'm rambling at this point. Thank you all very much for joining us. We'll see you next week. Hey, Cathris. Thanks, man. Thanks for supporting us.
Yep.
That means a lot.
Also, shout out to Happy Ninja, who is today.
Happy Ninja. Well, Happy Ninja's that's Boba. Who cares about Boba?
And Traveler Steve also followed us.
And Traveler Steve, thanks for following us.
Yes.
Yeah,
ironic. You are the same name as one of the most popular characters in the stream. Actually,
that is.
It's true.
That is Steve. They went on a side mission to rescue Steve, the pseudo dragon, who was
worth it,
milked by harpies. We will leave you all now at that wonderfulness. If you want to catch up on things, go to YouTube. We've got everything there.
Yes.
This one will be up most likely on Thursday.
Most likely on Thursday. That's when we typically get them up, a few days. So thank you again for everyone who's followed and subscribed. We appreciate and love every single moment of your presence and everything you do to make this possible. Yes. Until next week, au revoir. We love you all. See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
May have closed for now. We hope you met a friend this go around. Tired and blurry you may be. We hope your minds are full from this revelry. Peace follow you out. May you return for more giggles and shouts.